So we are just seeing images on the screen of Conor Shanahan suffering a rear suspension failure on his car. They're frantically trying to get that car fixed ahead of the top 16. We are going straight to top 16. He and just 16 drivers remaining, and what a heavyweight class we have. Track drying rapidly. Conditions unknown. It's going to be patchy, it's going to be unpredictable, and we're seeing mechanical failures. And I'll tell you one thing, if you're a new fan to drifting, that you might not know by watching the images. I'll be just going to tell you right now, there is 9 teams working on that 15-year-old's car to get him back out, and of those 5 of them are still in the competition. That's drifting. That's the passion behind this sport.
Yeah, exactly. And look, you can see Bagsy there from SB Motorsport Monster Energy just dropping over a brand new component there to put on, to lend to Conor Shanahan to try and get that car back out. But like you say, top 16 is ready to go underway, Dave, and I do believe we are ready to go to the line with our first battle of our top 16, which will see James Dean to take on Pavel Borkowski.
Now, let me tell you a story, Ian.
Tell us a story, Dave.
Sit down,
right.
Take a moment. We're lighting the fire. Here's the story. So James Dean comes to Poland. He's obviously teammates with Peter Wiańczek. He comes and does the Drift Masters Championship, but it's mostly a Polish championship. He meets this guy, Pavel Borkowski, and Borkowski says, "Hey, I really like your car, James. Would you ever think about selling it?" James says, "I'm not selling my car. My car's winning everything." So Pavel Borkowski, he cries for a small while, and then he says, "Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to build a car like James Dean's car." And last year he came out, and do you know what he did, Ian?
He beat him.
He beat James Dean.
In a replica.
And not only did he beat him, he hit him about 52 times in one run.
He bullied him.
He bullied him around the track and beat him. So of all the people on this grid, very few of them have taken a win over James Dean, the current Formula Drift champion. Right now, Pavel Borkowski is going to sit there and go, "Well, I know I've got the machinery.
Yep.
I know I've got the grip. And remember
and
me?"
It's the same weather conditions.
And it's in the wet, where he beat him the last time too. There's a lot more.
Rematch.
This is a rematch, but there's a lot more that meets the eye here. Expect some sort of excitement from me and Ian here, losing our voices, saying some crazy stuff, because it's about to get insane here in Riga as Pavel Borkowski lines up behind James Dean with maximum confidence.
Yep, and as we can see, they get the green light to go. It will be James Dean to lead out Pavel Borkowski for a spot in the Grade 8. And these two have beef. Look at Borkowski on the door already!
Oh!
Almost overtakes James Dean in initiation. James Dean fires that car around that.
Look at Borkowski! There wasn't
Whoa!
a millimeter in that! He's all over James Dean here! He wants this win more than anybody on that grid. And look at that transition!
Wow, Pavel Borkowski is bringing the fight to James Dean again!
Oh!
Wow, James Dean runs the wall. Borkowski sacrifices clipping points to get on the door. And Borkowski does it again! Pushes James Dean over the line.
I started to applause, Ian. I started to applause. I'm commentating here. I started to applause. What was that?
That was insane.
You know, we built it up, and I was like, well, let's hope,
let's hope they pull it out there.
It delivers, and Borkowski delivers in spades.
Wow.
James Dean's like, really? Every time. Look at this,
Look at this
Ian. It's
side-by-side initiation. He's like, you can initiate, I can initiate. I'll be on your door. I'll overtake you while still in the outer zone. That is phenomenal. Look at the transition from Borkowski. Gets on that inside line and then sticks it to James Dean. James Dean does a perfect lead run, and Borkowski is able to just glue his S14 replica to the door of James Dean's car. Unbelievable. The big mistake for me, though, was Borkowski dropping outside outer zone 5.
What? But this is the thing. If you're going up against a guy who's considered one of the best in the world, let's say arguably the best in the world, so, I mean, you got to throw it all on the line, and that's exactly what Borkowski did, and that was emotional. I thought there was going to be definitely a collision there. And in these conditions, Ian, we've watched guys throughout the top 32 struggle, spin out, go off the track. You're not supposed to go in there door to door, full maximum attack. You're supposed to be a little tentative.
But listen, the problem is now is James Dean is going to get to the line. He's going to radio his spotter, which will be beneath us in the spotters area, and he's going to say, "What is the deal?"
And he's going to say, "What have I got to do?" And he's going to say, "Well, remember that time that you were really, really good? You're going to have to do better than that.
Yeah.
Because you have to be insane to beat him here." And look at James Dean coming through the gears. They're side by side. He's not even letting him initiate.
Wow, look at this as they fire it. James Dean does the same move as Pavel Borkowski does. They go door to door.
Look at this!
Unbelievable. Borkowski nowhere to go without a James Dean in sight as they come door on door into outside zone 3. Now, Dean going to make the dive.
Oh, wow. Dean stays in it, Borkowski stays in it, and Dean waits for the transition again.
Look at this, a better chase run though from James Dean. He stays into the outer zone. One more dive and Dean is on the door across the line. Phenomenal.
That could be Battle of the Year. Given the conditions, given how much it means at this level of the championship, this could decide a lot of things from this point on. James Dean, you know what? They gave him the question and he answered it. Look at the proximity between these two cars in the wet at over 80 miles an hour. Don't forget the speed, Ian.
Look at this. Look at the transition. James Dean there with Pavel Borkowski as they fire it into that outer zone 3. These guys really getting to grips now with these weather conditions. Look at the transition from Dean. Stays in it. And this, for me, is the point where James Dean overturns it. He stays online and gets into that outer zone 5 and pushes Borkowski across the line.
But does Borkowski have more proximity from outer zone 2 to 3? He gave it a hell of a go either way, and I'm not sure which way the judges are going to call this, but if all the battles are like that, Ian, we ain't going to survive this evening.
It's not going to happen, yeah.
There's just, that was insane.
So, does look like the judge's decision is in.
I think it could come down to that last corner, Ian. It could just come down to those inches and millimeters. And the guys come back out in front of the grandstand for the decision, and the grandstand is applauding what was the best battle of the day so far, and it's the first battle of our top 16.
Crazy, crazy stuff. The decision's in, Dave.
Yeah, Pavel Borkowski on the left, James Dean on the right. Will it be Poland? Will it be Ireland? Who is going to go through? It is going to be James Dean getting the win and going through to the top 8. And you know what? From Pavel Borkowski's perspective, you could not have done any more or risked any more. We'll come back to our judges. Guys, if you're judging drifting, that's what you want to be judging. Insane.
Absolutely amazing chase there by Borkowski in the first run. And, you know, if you compare both runs, they're almost identical. And the only place where there was a difference was the very last section, from outer zone 4 to outer zone 5 on to the finish. And unfortunately, that was where the difference was. Borkowski actually cut the track at that point. He didn't maintain proximity for the last, but he actually cut the track. That was the only difference I saw in the overall run. And it's enough just to give James a small victory by 1 point. Brilliant battle. Absolutely amazing. Great stuff.
So, there you go, Dave.
I mean, it was, you know what, anybody else on the grid, Pavel Borkowski would have won a battle against with that, but unfortunately we move on. And now here's another, take a moment, Ian, because it's about to happen again. Harold Waldma against Benediktas Chirba, two guys who have not put a foot wrong all weekend, now go up against each other. I'm expecting more of the same. Yeah,
I mean, listen, these two guys have been pushing very, very hard. If you remember rightly, Harold Waldma was the fastest guy in the first half of our top 32 around the circuit. But Benediktas Chirba was the man that was unfazed. He wasn't worried about throwing that car in. Well, you know what that means? Two guys that aren't scared is going to work out for one good battle as they come in. Look at this, Chirba initiates before Waldma, as Waldma now got the grip. These guys fire around the first turn, and Chirba now starts to hunt down the door. They are door on door as they come past the judging tower. Benediktas Chirba just backs out of it now, starts to find the door of Harold Waldma's E46 BMW for one more time.
Look how close Chirba is. He's right on the door of Waldma as they come through the last section. Almost made contact again, and look at Chirba. Has to make an evasive maneuver. Knocks down the finish line. Oh, Ian. It's happening again.
It's happening again.
It's happening again.
It's Poland all over again.
It started from the start of the top 16. We're getting that excitement straight away. You can see the Budmat guys over the finish line. Chirba says, I'm staying in it. I'm taking the finish line, the walls, and everything with me.
Look at this, absolutely phenomenal stuff.
But look at Waldma's line there. Not perfect through the first corner. He's sort of in the mid-line here. Watch.
Yeah, it doesn't get all the way out to that.
I think he's not expecting the grip he has there, and it doesn't wash like he wants it to. And Chirba comes in on the dive, very aggressive.
Yeah, very, very aggressive stuff from Chirba. Look at this door on door as they transition in. Both guys just lift out of it, drop a wheel on the curb, and then Chirba now realises that the game is still on and starts to hunt down the door. This is where it kind of goes wrong a little bit for Chirba.
And the track is getting a lot drier. And I'll tell you, I saw something pretty spectacular there that you would not have noticed if you were watching at home. When Waldma went through the puddle on outer zone 3,
a rainbow.
There was a rainbow behind his car.
Amazing.
And I got distracted for a moment, and then I got back into it again. But just for a moment, I was like, did I just see a rainbow on the track? And I went, that's the kind of day we're having. Fair enough. Never happened. So we are back to the start line, and Varma, well, he's done a good run there. He's done a good job. Cherba made some mistakes. It was an aggressive run. He tried his best, but he did make some errors. I think anyone that's going to take down the entire finish line structure is going to be docked down.
It's committed, and they're committed as well.
And they're committed to just destroying themselves, the car, the buildings,
just
everything.
for the win.
Just for the win. And as they line up, you can see that carbon Kevlar-bodied HGK car of Valma as he lines up in the chase position. Sherba, though, very similar machinery here. There won't be much pace advantage on either side.
Identical, both HGK cars. Both running very, very similar setups. Who's going to take it through?
Yeah, and again, Sherba's in the lead here. He knows the grip levels are going up. He could risk going in very fast in the first corner, hoping the grip is there and leaving Valma for dead. But he could also end up upside down on the concrete wall. So that is a risk you're going to have to take. Cherba, a man who loves taking risks.
Yeah, Cherba takes some very, very big risks. As they get the green light, they're good to go. It is Benedikt Cherba to lead in Harold Velma. And look at Velma, door on door, side by side as they come through the gears. And right with Benedikt Cherba as they fire it in. Look at this Harold Velma now. Doesn't give Cherba the room. Both guys very shallow though for the first turn.
The grip's starting to pick up here.
Yeah, they start to get in it now. This is where it gets a bit tricky.
Oh, look at Velma holds on to it.
Harold Velma throws on huge angle just to hold into it as Benedikt Cherba splashes through the panel and completely sacrifices.
He's going to the wall here.
Oh, it's very deep.
Tags the wall at a really strange area where we haven't seen anyone before.
The puddle through Benedikt Cherba way, way offline.
I think that might be enough to get Valma into the top 8 here, but let's see which way our judges are going to call it. Either way, regardless of the weather, which just dampened spirits for a moment, now it's starting to dry very rapidly on the track. And what I'm enjoying is they're starting to take those risks again.
Yeah, exactly. Guys are starting to push it a little bit harder. As we see a replay for you guys watching at home on the live stream.
As both drivers receive some applause from our audience here in front of us. Of course, they line up looking directly at the big screen here, so they can see the results as they're dropping in. And our judges take another analysis of this one. You can see it here. Look, watch this puddle. Boom.
And it pushes Cherba offline.
Yeah, he almost stalls up.
Yeah, he can't get out to outer zone 5 and sacrifices that. And that's where Harold Velma then starts backing out of it as if to say, well, you know what? This could be mine. You've made a huge error. But judges still discussing it. And not really a clear cut yet from our judges of who is going to be taking it through to the Great 8. As both of our drivers wait patiently on the start line.
Yeah, judges having a good look at this one, Ian.
Yeah.
Which means it's not as straightforward as we thought it was at the time.
No, exactly. For me, I think it's the mistake of Benedikt Cherba with the wall, with going through the puddle. But then, could you blame him? Is he? He's not offline in that section of the track. That's the problem.
Didn't create the puddle.
No, exactly. So.
But then again, he has to deal with the puddle.
He has to deal with the puddle. Yeah.
Yeah, and that puddle is kind of getting. I mean, he got rid of a lot of the puddle. To be fair to him. Okay. So here we go. Benedikt Cherba, slide him left, slide him right for Harold Valma, who is going to go through to the top 8. The judges lock in their scores. And there you have it. It's Harold Valma going through to the top 8. He waves out of the car. Incredible stuff as they come out in front of the grandstand. And away we go. Back to our judges, guys. Talk us through it. Tough to call.
Yeah, in the first one there, Harold had a reasonably good run. Zirba actually had the advantage till the very, very last corner. When it came to the actual finish line there, he had to completely pull out of the drift, and he absolutely drifted in the opposite direction to avoid taking away the finish line. So he scored a 0 on that one, so it was a 10-0. On the second one, Zirba, in the chase position, he was chasing, he was in the lead position. He was actually a long way offline, and Harold, who's in the chase position, now there is a rule, if you put 2 wheels off onto the white lines between zones 1 and 2, you get a 0, and in this case he was inside the white line, but we deemed that to be Zirba's fault because he was a long way off the outer zone, and we don't think Harold had much of a choice when he's twinning beside him to be able to keep out of that zone where he could put a 0. So we blame the lead car for that. So scored the second one at 5-5. So yeah, it all came down to the mistake that was made by Sterber the first one.
There you have it from our judges, and it looks like we have got some commotion in the pits as our field reporter Eddie Power is with Connor Shannon. What's going wrong down there, Eddie?
Connor, the team are working furiously behind us. Can you give us an update on what exactly is going on?
Yeah, so in my top 32 battle, we noticed something wrong with the back of the car. We're not sure if it happened in the battle or it happened earlier on in the event, but when I left the straight on the first run, I felt the back of the car was moving a lot and the wheels weren't spinning, so I said, okay, this is weird. So we carried on. It seemed to do the run fine, so I said, okay, I'll do the second run. Went back to the line, same thing going down the straight. We got the win. Coming off the track, it got worse, and then I came in, told my mechanics, I said, watch the back of the car while I'm moving. Is there something broke? And the bottom part of the hub actually snapped. So the team are working hard. They're almost ready, and we'll be back in the top 16. And yeah, I'm feeling good. That was a good battle. I'm actually quite enjoying the rain, so if it comes back, I'm not going to be too annoyed.
Yeah, so you're hoping the track won't be too patchy, still a little bit damp out there, but you're coming up against Talansky in the top 16 and a really, really tough competitor. How are you feeling mentally going into that one?
Yeah, look, it's just going to be a hard battle. You know, he's an unbelievable driver. He's not going to give me an inch, so he does a good chase run. I'm just going to have to do a better chase run.
Well, get yourself strapped back into the car, Connor, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So there we go, a very, very confident Connor Shanahan there. He's going to do a better chase run or a better lead run than Bartosz Zaleski.
Moving it on, Ivo Sarunas and Krzysztof Romanovski. This is a big one also. Now, the track is drying rather quickly here. The puddles are starting to dissipate. I think we're going to be full dry by the time we get to top 8. That's my prediction. And right now, these guys have that patchy, wet and dry conditions, but they'll have a little bit more confidence than the torrential rail. These guys have got the talent to go through all of these conditions, but Romanovski against Sarunas, this is what I would like to call two guys that are exceptional in the wet and the dry, have been driving exceptional all weekend. This is going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very close indeed, but we know Ivo Sarunas is the local favourite, but look at this, Romanovski not giving him an inch as they fire it into that first home. Romanovski all over the side of that E46 BMW. Now Romanovski makes the transition back and starts to get back on the door, and look at Krzysztof Romanovski. Oh, was Ivo Sarunas drops wheels and bounces. Romanovski stays in it. Almost makes contact. He just lifted off the throttle to avoid contact. As Ivo Sarunas pedals that car towards the finish line, Romanovski gets back on the door and pushes Ivo Sarunas.
Sarunas definitely dropping wheels off the track, and what you expect Romanovski to do there is back out, but he actually stays on throttle and manages to get back towards him again. There is no quit in these guys right now.
Watch this from Romanovski. Romanovski's almost some serious contact after the wheel drop with Ivo Sarunas.
Almost some birds.
Yes.
Some birds were like, this seems like a reasonable place to... Oh, no, wait. And look at this. This is where Sarunas goes wide.
Watch Romanovski as he drops the wheel. Look.
Bang, straight on, and almost makes contact.
So close between them guys.
That's incredible stuff from both of these guys. I mean, from my perspective right now, you know, Sarunas making the bigger error.
Yep.
Romanovski staying in it. Looks like he's got the advantage. Could switch around very quickly, though, in the second half of this one. And look at that. Beautiful sun again.
Yeah, I mean...
Is this even the same place it was an hour ago? Honestly.
No.
My iPhone app has just... I tried to log into the weather app. It said, talk to me tomorrow.
Yeah, don't even.
We're not even getting involved. It said, customer service. So we're back sunshine again. And look how fast it's drying out there. I can see almost bone dry areas of the track and puddles. So God knows what's going to happen for the next couple of runs.
Well, who only knows, but right about now we need to find out who is going to make it into the Great 8 to join James Dean and Harold Varma. Will it be Ivo Sarunas, the local hero, or will it be Krzysztof Romanovski, the Polish demon? They're off the line. It will be Romanovski to lead in. Ivo Sarunas, as Ivo Sarunas initiates just at the same time as Krzysztof Romanovski. Now look at Romanovski absolutely pedaling the car. Can Sarunas find himself back on the door again? He can. Oh, contact! And they stay in it. They're
staying on throttle. Big hit from Sarunas onto the rear bumper of Romanovski, but he stays on that outside line. Through the puddle they go. Sarunas back in for another dive as they head into that last section. And they are fighting for it out there today. Romanovski tags the wall, takes the bumper off the car. That is what it's all about. Putting your car, body, and probably mental conditioning on the line. Incredible stuff from both of these heavyweights in the Drift Masters European Championship. We've got 2 more rounds to watch these guys go out there and kill it for the rest of the year, and I'm looking forward to it before we even finish this one, because these guys are incredible talents.
Yeah, unbelievable talent. Look at this from Romanovski. Fires that car in on a very nice lead line. Ivo Sarunas not doing a whole lot wrong in the chase. Overcooks it here. Starts to over-rotate as they come into the outer zone.
He almost, gets Romanovski back on angle again.
Yeah, he kind of gives Romanovski the push to get out of that wet zone and back on the dry line.
Wow, judges are going to be analysing that when you can see Romanovski. Watch this, just look at this. Romanovski's kind of straightening up here, and they're saying, no, I want more angle. And Sarunas says, this is the angle you should be on.
This is the angle you can run.
Yeah, and then Romanovski says, you're right.
You're right,
Yep,
I
can run that, and it's actually worked out well for me. So we have got decisions to be made. And you know what? Judges having a good deliberation on this one.
Yeah, judges going through this one.
Romanovski and Sarunas, plenty of black marks front, back, and sides on all of those cars right now.
Every panel.
Every panel. Good thing for Romanovski's cars are already black, so looks like the results are coming through from the judges. Who is going to take it through to the top 8? Will it be Romanovski? Will it be Sarunas? Oh, judges lock in their scores. It's going to be Romanovski getting the win. And the Polish driver eliminates the Latvian driver and sends himself through to the top 8. Back to the judges. Talk us through it. A little bit of contact there, guys. And incredible driving, though, from both of these incredible talents.
Okay, thank you. It was not easy call this time. We really looked on the mistake of Romanovski at our zone 3 where he straightened, but the straighten was because he was waiting when Ivo will come back from behind the curb. So we take it like mainly a mistake of Ivo. So from the first run, that was advantage for Romanovski. In second run, Romanovski slowed down around outer zone 3, and he was headed by Ivo, so we did not count that head like mistake of Ivo. But overall, if we compare lead to lead, chase to chase, Romanovski needs to go through.
So there we go, Krzysztof Romanowski getting the win and advancing through to the Great 8, and we have another battle of 2 heavyweights.
It's all heavyweights there, Wayne. There's no point even saying it. Koplinsky versus Cleata, 2 guys that will no doubt line up here and say, I'm winning this.
Yeah, I mean, Koplinsky, for me, came out of nowhere, and he is a big contender. But Yanis
sitting high in the championship too, Koplinsky.
Yeah, Yanis Cleata, though, has done a million runs around this circuit.
And probably carries the most experience.
Yeah.
And that counts for a lot, especially when the conditions get patchy like they are now. Yanis, the hometown hero from Latvia. He's an ex-European champion, but he's got to do it all over again as he chases down Koplinsky in that BMW 1 Series into that first corner. And no backing down from either driver here.
Now as they fire it in, Koplinsky on a nice initiation. Look at this, starting to get dry now, Dave, as these guys pick up some speed. Yanis Cleata, though, not where he needs to be as they fire it in. Oh, both guys over-rotate. Koplinsky gets back into it, but Yanis Cleata loses a whole load of ground.
A lot more, not slippy. Oh, and Yanis just runs into the wall. I'm not sure what's going on here. That was a very messy end to that run. It sort of promised a lot, Ian, but it looked very much like we were going to see a head-to-head battle of very, very close proximity. But all of a sudden, it came down to that outer zone 3 again. Which, when we looked at this track in the dry, that is not really a worry.
No, exactly. We didn't think that was going to be an issue for these guys. And look at this as they fire it in.
Both guys almost over-rotate, but it looks to me like Yanis in the chase over-rotates more. Is he close enough that it affects him? That's what the judges are going to watch here. So Koplinsky's got a good run on him here. He goes wide, he goes on full 90 degrees, so does Yanis. Yanis almost comes to a stop, and Koplinsky gets going again. I'm not too sure if Yanis Cleata was close enough that he could say that Koplinsky going on that big angle actually caused that issue. So, and after that, Yanis kind of tagged the wall, and it was a bit of a scrappy run from there.
So, we get those guys back to the line.
Yeah, promised a lot that battle, Ian, but at the same time, maybe all that expectation sort of went the other way, and these guys pushed a little too hard.
Too hard, yeah, exactly. So like I say, we're going to get these guys back to the line and see who is going to make it through to the Great 8. Yanis Cleata, for me, looked like the stronger competitor. Like I said, a lot of experience here in Riga, in Latvia, being the local guy.
And you can see looking down at the car there, I mean, you got a certain amount of expectation if you're the local driver. That's what I think, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
We saw Krzysztof Lus trying to go for that 100 perfect run and not making it into qualifying. Janis definitely the second highest ranked driver there. Now goes up against the pride of Poland and Paweł Koplinsky, and Koplinsky's not letting him get away here as they come through the gears and fire into that corner. Speed starting to increase, that big dive and smoke for the first time from Janis Cleata.
As Koplinsky hunts down the door of Janis Cleata's Tri-Ace tyres E46 BMW, and no such errors this time as Koplinsky starts to try to make a dive, but Janis Cleata has the pace. They transition into outer zone 5. Koplinsky starts to get back into it now as we find the wet surface.
Well, now it's completely half wet and dry. You can see smoke on the first corner from Cleata's car. The first time we've seen it in over a couple of hours.
Yep.
And it's starting to dry up rapidly here, but that last section, that smooth tarmac, not drying as quickly.
Not at all.
So guys are having to be more committed on the first 100-mile-an-hour part of the track and then back off on the 60, 70-mile-an-hour part of the track. That's what's happening right now. But a scrappy run from both guys, to be fair, Ian.
Yeah, not the best run from both guys, but a very difficult decision for our judges as we get those guys in front of the judging tower.
I mean, big following here. You can see all the Latvian audience here applauding their hero, Janis Cleata. But it may be the Polish driver, Koplinsky, that takes him down here. Either way, there was some big errors from both. And I'm not going to call this one either way. Again, we watch it sort of from an entertainment point of view sometimes, Ian. But it locked in straight away. Yeah. Will they slide him left for Janis Cleata, right for Paweł Koplinsky? And there you have it. Kieran goes for Koplinsky. Kevin does the same, a unanimous. Koplinsky, the Polish driver, moves on to the top 8. Big call as another Latvian driver eliminated, another hometown hero eliminated. Back to the judges. Talk us through that one, guys. Very scrappy.
Thanks, Dave. That was certainly one of the tougher calls for us here. Paweł had quite a clean lead run. Unfortunately, his only mistake was a slight over-rotation on outer zone 3. We did look to see Cleata also had a fairly sizable over-rotation there at outer zone 3 as well, and he also had a wheel drop. We did look to see if that was caused by Paweł, but to be honest, we think that there was too much of a gap for us to actually blame Paweł, and we think Cleata was going off there anyway. So for me, the first run definitely finished with an advantage to Paweł. For the second run, then you switch him around, and Cleata didn't have the cleanest lead run, but Paweł did very well, especially in the conditions, to maintain proximity for the whole track, especially when he wasn't chasing the most ideal qualifying line. So for the second run as well, Paweł came away with an advantage for me. So overall, Paweł coming away with the win.
So there we go, Paweł Koplinsky taking the win and going through to the Great 8, and we move it along.
Oh.
And yeah,
it's a rematch.
It's a rematch, Dave. Dragos Hippie
of the final of round 2.
Round 2, yeah. Dragos Hippie to take on Juha Poitalaxko. These guys, listen, Dragos Hippie got the win last time.
Well, I mean, Poitalaxko was saying he wanted a rematch against Hippie. He hasn't had long to wait, just one round. These guys went in the rain and patchy conditions in Hungary in the final.
Yep.
On that occasion, it was Dragos Hippie who would take the win and the second win of the season. Poitalaxko would have to settle for second place, but he's getting a chance to rewrite it again here and get himself back into the championship order. This is a huge one for the championship for Poitalaxko to try and climb it, and he's left a little bit of a gap. Look at the speed of Hippie.
Yeah, he's left a huge gap as Hippie fires that car in. Look at this, Poitalaxko, no answer. Look at this. Poitalaxko needs to stand on the accelerator and try and gain some lost ground. As Dragos Hippie looks like a man possessed. He's cutting circuit though, as Dragos Hippie needs to find himself back online as he splashes through the puddles, gets into outside 5 now.
And Poitalaxko almost makes contact and has to back out as he made a huge dive across the circuit. There was inches in that.
That really was like a straight line dive shortcut.
That was like an arrow.
It was an arrow.
An arrow straight into the side of Dragos Hippie. And the aim was good, but he had to back out because simply he was going to make a huge collision happen there. It was a last-ditch effort, let's be honest. He gave him way too much room here at the start. You can see Hippie is up and gone. Fast as this E30 BMW. And his line is absolutely, he's almost getting grip here. He's not sure where the grip is. But as they come through, this is where he makes a big mistake. Doesn't get out to outer zone 3. That's those 3 cones on the side of the track. Now, this is where Poitalaxko could stay back, but watch, he makes a big error. Cuts straight back on the wrong side of the track, says, uh-oh, I'm going to hit him, and has to hit the front brake. And how he doesn't spin there, Ian. Stays in it, stays in the fight. He's going to lose points for it.
Yeah, definitely going to lose points for it. And you know what? For me, Dragos Hippie looking very strong.
As he did at round 2. Yeah. And you've got to remember, he's sitting in 3rd in the championship. He's not far away. A good result here, and he's definitely in the mix.
Yeah, he could, I mean, potentially meet James Dean in the final. They are on opposite sides of the bracket, so...
And if he beat him, then he would claw his way back into the championship race. And Grzegorz Hippie, who may not be, you know, an international superstar, certainly a superstar in Poland.
If Conor Shanahan goes out in top 16...
It's open season.
It's open season. We go to Turin in 2 weeks' time.
But
and
we're only
it is
halfway
everywhere.
through this one, Ian. I mean, Poitalaxo's fought himself back a lot from these positions. And right now, Hipke's going to go. His spotter's going to tell him, if you stay close to him, you're going to have an advantage.
No, look at Hippie though,
Hipke's
Dave.
not letting him go an inch here.
No, Hippie is all over the side of Juha Poitalaxko's car. Look at this, Grzegorz Hippie bringing the fight as Poitalaxko now starts to find the grip. Can he get away? But no such chance as Grzegorz Hippie just gives Poitalaxko the room he needs. Almost contact on transition. As Grzegorz Hippie now finds the door again of that E92 BMW.
Hippie a little bit more controlled here,
Yeah.
Ian. Oh, and almost throws it away at the finish line by hitting Juha over the finish line. And pardon the pun again, every time I say finish line, you know, it's from Finland.
Finland, yeah, we get it.
You get what
we get it.
I'm getting at. That was an impressive battle. And from my perspective, Poitalaxo just makes a mistake at outer zone 3.
Yeah.
Just overshoots
Just
it.
overshoots
He's trying to
it.
be fast. He's trying to get away.
Yep.
Hipke's not to be shook. He's staying right in the zone, right in the pocket. And yeah, I think the obvious result here is the Polish driver going through. But then again, judges are watching this much more critically than we are.
Yeah, exactly. As we get those guys up to our finish line to announce the decision. Looks like the judges on this one pretty much clear cut, and looks like they have a decision ready
looks like
to
it
drop
locked
in. Yeah,
so there you have it. It might just be that obvious decision. You have Poitalaxo or Grzegorz Hippie, who's going through to the top 8. There you have it. It is going to be Grzegorz Hippie getting the win and going through to our top 8 championship. Very much in the mix, and it looks like he's following James Dean all the way here. Conor Shanahan, the next of our top 3 to really be tested.
Yeah.
And an impressive run, guys, from Grzegorz Hippie. Oh, you guys said the Polish man goes through to the top 8.
Yeah, Hippie had a really good lead run there. Look, he was off of clip 3, which is the only major error there. But apart from that, now he had good pace and he was fast throughout. I mean, the biggest issue with Juha on that chase position, he just didn't have proximity at all. And then he did a massive cut between 4 and 5 to try and gain proximity. So Hippie came away with advantage in the first one. And on the second one, Hippie had good proximity throughout the run with no great errors. So he took an advantage on the second one as well.
So there we go, Grzegorz Hippie getting the win and carrying that momentum from round 2, and we move it along.
Carrying a lot of momentum, you know, literally and figuratively, because
yeah.
he is very fast out there. Now, Nigel Colfer against Mikael Overgaard, and both of these guys haven't made it to this stage of the competition yet this season.
No, exactly. Mikael Overgaard, you know, we haven't seen him come this far now. As he starts to get some confidence, could he be a dangerous entity in this championship?
Well, an unknown entity is always a dangerous entity.
Yep.
Nigel Colfer will not know what he's up against here with Mikael Overgaard. These haven't met in competition before. Danish driver versus Irish driver. Colfer got a very lucky call in the top 32 to get him, just by technicality, got himself into the top 16. But now he goes up against Mikael Overgaard. He's looking pretty strong out there. I would say this is going to be a challenge for Nigel Colfer, but both of these guys want to start climbing up those championship points. They got to go through each other to get there.
They certainly have, Dave, as they come down. Look at this, Mikael Overgaard not giving Colfer any sort of movement as they fire it in. Now, look at this, the pace of Nigel Colfer starts to come in play as he stands on the accelerator, starts to drive away from Mikael Overgaard, but Colfer gets deep. Oh, he's way over the line. Oh, contact.
Yeah. It's contact between the two. I think he stayed too deep in that curve, and Mikael Overgaard had nowhere to go there. It looked like he just got stuck up on that curve, and Mikael Overgaard tried to lose the pace out of the car, but there wasn't much he could do. They're struggling back across the finish line, and Overgaard looks like he might have some steering issues here, which of course would mean that there is, you know, a competition timeout available for drivers if they're deemed to be not at fault for any sort of damage. But in Nigel Colfer's case, if he is deemed to be at fault, he will not get a 5-minute rule. There is no 5-minute rules here in the Drift Masters European Championship. So I'm not too sure exactly what happened there. Was it an unforced error from Mikael Overgaard? It just looked like Colfer just went in way too hot. You could see him let off the throttle, and that's what made the mistake for him.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
actually let off the throttle as he went to clipping zone 3 to let the car wash, feel the grip out. Watch as he comes through here, he just kind of lets off the throttle a little bit, and all of a sudden it slides out of control.
Look at the car jump from
And
curb
look,
to curb.
Overgaard hits him straight away on the back. I don't think that is Overgaard's fault. Colfer's hung out on the outer zone 3 far too long. Overgaard from that point looks like he's struggling big time here to get the car on angle and actually drift the circuit. Watch this as he comes over the finish line of the transition, just completely loses control of the car. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on down there.
So Nigel Colfer makes his way back to the start line. Yeah, look at the car, completely bounces over, and yeah, like you say, gets stuck. And Mikael Overgaard, doesn't make contact.
Doesn't make contact.
Doesn't. Looks
like
like
he DBeats a tire. He DBeats a tire. Look at the back of his car.
Yep.
He actually DBeated a tire. Let's see if you're eagle-eyed like me and you spot that kind
Normally
of thing.
it's me who spots
it's usually you,
Normally
but
me.
today, you know.
No.
Okay, so we're getting the information from our judges that Mikael Overgaard has a DBeated tire. He cannot start the next run with a DBeated tire. However, that DBeat was caused by Nigel Colfer going off the track in front of him, meaning that Mikael Overgaard gets a competition timeout, or essentially 10 minutes, to get a new set of tires on that car and get back out for the second half of the battle.
Perfect.
I just explained that.
Perfectly.
That even someone like me would understand.
Yep.
I broke down the technical what
broke
I
it
heard on my
down.
headset, but you get the gist.
So
we have to wait for that's going to be, we're going to replay that battle essentially.
Yeah.
The second half of that battle later on, but Overgaard given that chance to get those two tires on.
So, like you say, we are going to move it on to the next battle, and it will be Adam Zaleski to take on David Koplinsky. Adam Zaleski, the 2017 champion, now takes on Koplinsky, who looks very, very strong. Car problems yesterday in qualifying, didn't think he was going to make it through, but now finds himself in the top 16, ready to battle for a place in the Great 8. As we see those guys warming up their tyres.
Now, this is an interesting one, Ian, in terms of, we talk about Polish drifting and the strength of Polish drifting, but you've got sort of, guys that have had major success here.
Yep.
You've David Koplinsky, who's been in the top 3 or 4 of that championship in Poland for as long as I can remember. He goes up against a new kid on the block in Poland, which is Adam Zaleski, who won the Drift Masters European Championship last year. This is a grudge match. You've got youth versus experience.
Yep.
You've got, I think, 2 guys that have a similar style, very aggressive. So we're going to get a good battle here. We're going to get a tight battle, and I think we're going to see some moments where we might, the hairs on our arms may stand up, because these guys put that show on every single time.
Yeah, exactly. Look, these guys, like you say, they battled before. They know each other very, very well. 2 Polish drivers that like to go head-to-head. Well, who is going to take it this time and move through to the Great 8? Could it be Zalewski's weekend? Could he start raining some of those lost points?
Yeah, and again, with the things changing so dramatically throughout the competition, anything can happen next. As Zaleski comes through the gears, and look at Koplinsky. He's on the back bumper of the youngster into the first corner, and Koplinsky makes a big dive here. Plenty of grip out there now in that first corner to make the dive, and Koplinsky is inches from Zaleski.
Yeah, Zaleski. Oh, whoa, big error though from Zaleski, Dave. He fails to get out to that outer zone 3, and Koplinsky stays in it. As Koplinsky now starts to fight back into this again after he loses a little bit of ground. Dials on the angle, big flame out the back of Koplinsky's car.
How do you approach the run? I'm just watching the wet and dry sections then.
Yeah, I mean,
completely dry through the first corner. Then it washes massively to outer zone 3, where both guys expected the car to wash. It actually had, in my opinion, it had actually dried up faster and faster and faster, meaning more grip there, and then you go through a big puddle, and then the final corner through the finish line is completely wet on the track. So watch this. Look
how dry this is.
Dry there, and then they transition back here, expecting the car to wash out to that outer zone. Look, Zalewski backs out saying, I don't want to go off. And then
even
grips.
now here, gripping now, and you can see doesn't manage to get out to outer zone 3, so that messes up Koplinsky's line hugely in that chase position.
So where Zaleski thought he was being safe, he actually turned out to have disadvantage.
Disadvantage, yeah. So we get those guys back to the start line, and it will be Koplinsky now to lead out Zaleski. Zalewski's spot are going to be telling him on the radio, that you made a huge error coming into outer zone 3.
I wouldn't go as far as say a huge error, Ian. We could be a little bit harsh.
I'm a harsh guy. I'm a harsh guy.
You're sort of getting into that role. I'm gonna be more complimentary. We saw every car go off into the dirt and the curb and the puddles there. Zaleski doing the right job. He's saying better off to be sort of off the zone than to be completely messing up the run, going off, spinning off, causing collisions, that kind of thing. So I'm going to stick with him on this one and say that was the right call.
That was the right call.
And Kaushik, while he was a little bit disturbed and not given a great opportunity, he wasn't chasing the car on 90 degrees angle, slowing down and all that kind of stuff. So, you know what, from Zalewski's point of view, I think this was very much in the mix.
Well, we're about to find out what way it is going to go for these guys as we see David Kaushik take off the line to lead in Adam Zalewski. And Zalewski, oh, wow, tagging on the back wheel of Kaushik's car. And look at Adam Zalewski, door on door as they transition back. Zalewski not giving Kaushik any freedom as they wash into outer zone 3. Zalewski transitions back again on the doors. Kaushik pushing hard.
Look at Zalewski.
Wow.
Zalewski is on it right now. Pushing Kaushik.
Wow.
Into the wall they go. Did you see that transition at the end, Ian?
What was that? I wasn't even prepared for that then.
I need a moment.
Yeah, I need to see a replay.
That's what we need. Watch this again at the last moment from Zalewski. Check this out on a chase run as he fires it in. Now he's all over Kaushik at this point. He is right there on the back bumper. And on the transition, he's there again. But we thought all of this was impressive. These transitions. And look at this here. Wheel to wheel as they come back towards the wall. But it's this last moment that really impressed me. Just look at this. Wham! Onto the door again.
Look at that. They are wheel on wheel. The two cars are head-to-head through that start line.
You're watching in from Poland. The future of your sport is very bright. I'm going to tell you that for nothing. Guys, give it up for Kaushik and Zalewski. These guys know each other very, very well. And the crowd here in huge appreciation of these two incredible stars. Zalewski just can't believe he got away with that one.
I can't believe he got away with that one. That was unbelievable stuff from those guys. But we only
and two guys that can understand each other, having a conversation on the track at last.
How about that?
Both Polish drivers, one will be making it through to the top 8.
Yep, into the great 8. Who's it going to be? Will it be Adam Zalewski? Will it be David Kaushik?
Plenty of discussions going on here from the judges, and as you can see, an absolute sellout in Riga. As you can see, that grandstand is packed to watch the best drivers in Europe from 21 nations go head-to-head for the biggest prize in European drifting, which of course is the Drift Masters European Championship. Here we go. Who's going to make it through to the top 8 though? Will it be David Kaushik? Will it be Adam Zalewski? Judges taking some time on this one. Which way are the votes going to go? Oh, David goes one more time. That's throwing a little spanner in the works. Kevin goes Adam Zalewski. It's all down to Kieran Hines now. Which way is it going to go? Who's going through to the top 8? It's Adam Zalewski getting the win. The youngster at 18 gets the win. He is the defending champion and looking exactly like that, guys, as he puts on a masterclass. What a battle.
Okay, Adam in the first one there, he had a good lead run. David had okay proximity, but for me the biggest issue I saw with Adams in the lead run was he was completely off clip 3. He didn't get out to it at all, had a shallow transition then out to 4, which helped him keep a separation between himself and David. But and once we switched it around, David had just better proximity, or Adam had better proximity all the way through. Really aggressive near the end. I think he did enough there to take a bigger advantage than it was in the first round. So it was Adam from us.
So there we go, Adam Zalewski taking the win and going through, and the 2017 champion proving his worth. We move it back to the Nigel Colfer, Mikael Overgaard battle. The one more time, Dave.
These guys just can't figure this out at all.
Listen, do you know what they've done now? They've worked each other out.
Well, they know the style.
They know the style. They know what they've got. The track is almost dry apart from the last piece of the circuit.
Look at Colfer though, he's hunting down the rear end.
He has nothing to lose as he fires it. Whoa! Nigel Colfer almost takes out Mikael Overgaard. Overgaard on a shallow line. This is not good look for Overgaard right now as Colfer keeps his cool and falls back a little bit.
Overgaard's on a bad line here.
Yeah, Mikael Overgaard on a very bad line. Nigel Colfer keeps his cool and sticks to a qualifying line to try and claw back some points. Starts to make the dive now on the latter part of the circuit as they splash through the puddle and across the line.
It's all coming down to that first corner. Now there's smoke. It's not as obvious for us to know what's happened. But it looked to me like Mikael Overgaard just shallowed up massively on the track. And then it was after, from clipping out of zone 2 to 3, he's on the middle of the circuit. Now again, it would have even been wetter when he was out there 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So I think this is drying so rapidly now. These guys have no real way of knowing how to approach it.
No.
I said it would be dry for the top 8, didn't I?
Yeah.
Now I was wrong about
You
everything
ordered
else.
that, and that's come in time.
Yeah, I rang them at least
And
an
you know,
hour ago.
I like what you did because you mixed it up in the middle.
I thought that was a good thing.
Yeah, you
I
was
said,
like,
you know what, let's have it
let's
really
mix it
sunny
up.
for 3 days, then all of the rain, and then
In
let's
1
just-
hour.
In 1 hour, and then let's just get rid of all the rain.
And then then dry it up and
Yeah.
let's have some
Well, it's-
smoke for the
It's
final.
more entertaining. It.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, now that we have control of the weather here, it is it's made the sport much better as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned. But as they roll back to the start, Overgaard and Colfer, that's going to be a tough one for the judges. There was a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors on maybe both sides there. Did Colfer come in too aggressive? Did he hit Overgaard on the first corner? Was that what caused the shallowing up? Hard to know. So both drivers exit their cars. Nigel Colfer, Mikael Overgaard.
Who's it going to be? Slide him at left for Mikael Overgaard, right for Nigel Colfer. Denmark or Ireland? Kieran says Mikael. Kevin says Mikael. David says Mikael. It's unanimous. Mikael Overgaard gets the win
What
and
a result.
advances through.
What a result from Nick. You can see what it
Look
means
how
to him.
happy
He
he
is ecstatic right now. He cannot believe it. An incredible, and guys, we finally had a decision. What swayed it?
Yeah, that really all comes down to the first run, which was a while ago now, so it's kind of a little hard to remember. But unfortunately, Nigel had a massive gap on Overgaard coming from the start line, but he just came in far too hot, passing inner clip 1, and I think the grip on the track just changed up slightly, and he wasn't expecting it. Came in too hot and put 2 wheels off on outer clip 3. So that was a 10-0 there straight away, and he wasn't, even though he had fantastic chasing in his chase run, he wasn't able to overturn that 10-0 deficit. So Overgaard takes the win.
Yeah, I called it a one more time, Dave, and I completely
You
forgot.
had no idea.
I
Ian.
thought it was a
Come
one more
on.
time. I wanted to see him battle all day.
Oh.
Spectacular. But we move it along to the final battle of our top 16, Dave, and we have saved the best till last for
And
you.
if you multiply one driver's age by 2, you still haven't got the
You
other
still
driver's
haven't
age.
got
14-year-old Connor Shanahan, actually 15 years of age technically now, Connor Shanahan goes up against Bartosz Stolarski, one man that is in his first ever year of European drifting, and Connor Shanahan against a man with over 50 podiums in Bartosz Stolarski, one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. Connor Shanahan giving up almost half the horsepower here also, and as it gets very dry out there, he's going to have a big disadvantage. Stolarski is starting to play into his hands as he now has that extra horsepower, that 1100 horsepower under the bonnet. Very interesting matchup against the run of the play here. Let's see what happens to Connor Shanahan and Bartosz. Look at Stolarski diving in.
Wow, look at him. He knows Stolarski knows Shanahan. He knows he can't give him an inch as Shanahan looks on
Wow.
full. Stolarski all over the side of Shanahan's car as they come through inner zone 3. Shanahan drops way offline now. He's got the work to do if he needs to pull this back. Stolarski gives him some room to manoeuvre now, starts to hunt him down again as he dives back on the door, across the line, almost tagging the rear of the cars together.
Not a bad run, but Shanahan making a bit of an error between outer zone 3 and 4, shallowing up quite a bit, maybe expecting the car to wash a little bit more than, and it's happening.
Yeah.
We're not seeing the cleanest, most impressive drifting out there today. Now it still is at upwards of 90 miles an hour, but we're not seeing it because of the conditions. Wet and dry makes it very difficult to drive. As you can see, once these guys are in that dry first corner, they're pretty comfortable. Look, throwing it in there on the outer line, everyone's pretty happy. And on the transition, Stolarski makes a massive dive here. Look at the proximity he gets to Connor Shanahan. But right here, Shanahan just transitions in the middle of the track. It's the wrong line, as you mentioned, Dean, and Stolarski just follows him through there.
Yeah, Stolarski gives him some room to manoeuvre and then waits for Shanahan to get back on a good line and then dives on the door and pushes Connor Shanahan, almost making contact with the two back ends of the car as they finish that run off.
Very interesting to note how much the judges are going to deduct Conor Shanahan for that. I mean, the rest of the run was okay, but Talansky, for me, in the first 2 corners, got a lot of the work done.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, you know what, for me, yeah, in that chase position as well. And that's the best place to be. If you can get those points, as many as you can in that chase position, because we swap it around now. And Talansky, you know, he has to lead.
He's also got the pace.
He has got the pace, but will Conor Shanahan throw caution to the wind? Will he put everything out there and try and stick it on the door? He has no other option.
Well, he knows that Zaleski was close.
Yeah.
He'll have heard that car
Oh,
through
yeah.
the door of his car for the entire run.
Yeah.
So he's going to know that Zaleski was close. He's going to know this guy's got the experience. He's got all the trophies that he wants to eventually collect.
Yep.
So to beat him, he's got to throw caution to the wind, and it means that if he's got half the horsepower, he's going to have to risk it more than Zaleski did. He's going to have to put himself in a position where he's not quite as comfortable, and that's what we're about to see here. And it is quite nerve-wracking when you watch a 15-year-old child throw a car at over 100 miles an hour onto the door of another car, but that's exactly what the Drift Masters European Championship is all about. But look at this, pace already an issue.
Yeah, pace a big issue already for Conor Shanahan as Bartosz Zaleski fires that 1100 horsepower LS2 Turbo S14 around this track. Shanahan tries to gain back some lost ground, but just can't get it. And oh, here comes Shanahan at contact. Door on door, and
Shanahan's out. Shanahan, I think, went in too hot there. Big dent on the door, too.
Yeah.
Marshall's over to check if he's okay. Remember, those 2 cars colliding at over 55 miles an hour.
Do you know what? For me, it was do or die for Shanahan. It was make the dive or lose the battle. He made the dive and just unfortunately put himself into a situation where he couldn't get out of it.
He was playing catch up from the start, Ian, and of course he had to make that last-ditch effort to try and get on the door. Zaleski looking good in the championship too, though, at the moment, especially now taking down Conor Shanahan. Now watch this, Shanahan makes a big dive. Zaleski goes on big angle, slows down a little bit here. Shanahan, just tags back onto the door of Shanahan's car. Now, judges might be watching Zaleski there and see, did he slow down unnecessarily? Didn't look like to me he did, but then again, it is not an acceleration part of the track. It's not a deceleration zone there.
No, exactly, and it looks like
that door has got a fair hit from Zaleski's car. They want to watch this one again. Now, Zaleski, this is a full throttle area of the track. Smoke dials off the car.
Oh, he is on the throttle at the point of contact, so it does look like he kind of de-accelerates ever so slightly for the transition, but...
And we've watched guys do that, of course. The rain deceleration zones are completely different when it's wet, but he does slow up quite a bit there going into that, and Shanahan's on a rocket ship ride to try and get on his door. Both collided in the middle, and you can see Shanahan with his hand out the window there. He's had a valiant effort today, even with the rear suspension or the hub snapping on the back end of the car. Huge crowd here in Riga, as you guys can see at home, and you can see Conor Shanahan, the first man out of the car to inspect the damage and see if things are okay, and that is a big hit on the door, as you can see.
Yeah, big damage there taken on from Conor Shanahan.
And of course he'll know that if James Deans moves on here, his championship gets tougher and tougher. Look at the door on that car, the cage doing exactly what it's meant to do and protect the occupant, and it was a big hit. Bartosz Zaleski gets out of the car. It's a handshake between both drivers and a
little bit
pat on the back.
Yeah, I mean,
they haven't. So judges looking for another replay. This means it's not as cut and dry as we think.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be as cut and dried as what we think, Dave. Look at this, Zaleski fires it in. Do you know what, for me, I did spot something. Watch Zaleski as he comes through here. Look, he doesn't get all the way out to outer zone 3. Look how shortcut he cuts it. Shanahan makes it out. The judges deem that as a shortcut to gain an advantage.
Shanahan didn't make it on his lead run, so
could
does
he
it
go
balance it
one more
off? Does it balance it off? It'll come down to the collision, I'm sure. There was a 10-0 scored there, one way or the other. So will it be the young Irishman or will it be the experienced Polishman that go through to the next stage of competition?
So we got a result coming in. Who's it going to be? Slide it left for Bartosz Zaleski or right for Conor Shanahan. Poland versus Ireland. Kieran says Bartosz.
He needs one more vote here to go through.
Kevin says
it's Bartosz Zaleski getting the win, and he goes through to the next stage of competition. And Conor Shanahan, second in the championship order, starting today, ends competition at the top 8. Still some championship points earned for him.
Yeah, Conor Shanahan absolutely gutted, as you can see there, heads away. We need to go to our judges. Not an easy decision, that one at all.
It was definitely not easy. We start with the first run. In the first run, we saw like really nice chase by Bartosz. He was really on Connor. Then Connor missed slightly outer zone 3, and he completely missed outer zone 4. So that was advantage for chase run from Bartosz. Then we need to look on that difficult part, and that's the second run, where was that hit. Bartosz didn't go at all to outer zone 3, and he take a different line than it should be. But then he returned to the right line, and when in the moment when he was trying to transition, he was headed by Connor. And the work of the chaser should be to leave enough space for transition of the leader. Unfortunately, Connor was like trying to catch Bartosz, and he a little bit overshot it.
There you have it. We're moving it on to our top 8. We started with 70-plus drivers from 21 nations. Well, we've got 8 remaining. First up, James Dean goes up against Harold Varma. And James Dean has had a tough day at the office today. Varma is not going to be any easier.
No, exactly. Yes, like you say, James Dean's run into this Grade 8 has been difficult enough, and now he takes on a man who looks unstoppable.
Well, Varma has looked incredible all day. He is going to know who James Dean is. He's going to have massive confidence here.
Yep.
The track almost getting to a dry situation now down there. And look at this. Varma banging through the gears here. He's not letting James Dean get away. Look at this. Waiting for James Dean to initiate. He's right there.
Yeah, right on the door as Veltman now starts to fire in. Can he put that E46 on the door? Whoa, wow, Veltman, look at that. Transitions, but James Dean stands back on the accelerator. Veltman makes another big dive as they come through clipping point 3. Veltman looking sketchy, trying to carry some pace. Veltman looking very, very sketchy as he tries to gain proximity, shortcutting the circuit as James Dean finishes off the run.
That was dangerous, is what it was, because every time Valman made a move there, he was making it at almost twice the pace of James Dean and cutting the track to try and stay in the battle. Incredible bravery. These are cars. These are cars. Like, you know, we drive cars on the road, Ian. Look at this.
It was like a rocket ship.
Watch this transition, first transition here. About an inch at 75 miles an hour, bang, right? And then he's like, okay, well, that's probably... And then he realized he's losing some ground here, so he dives on full throttle behind James Dean again. And this is even more dangerous. Look, fires it through. Whoa, almost making contact again. Definitely no fear in that HGK BMW.
No, definitely no fear as they make their way back to the line now. Harold Veltman will be in the lead position. James Dean now to give chase. For me, Veltman not looking the strongest contender. Is James Dean going to give Veltman some room?
Yeah, but to be fair, not the strongest run he's had all day.
No.
Sketchy. We didn't expect that.
No,
maybe
I expected it to be a clinical.
Maybe going a little overly aggressive with James Dean there.
Yeah, trying to force the win too much there, potentially for Harold Veltman. As we see those guys back down at the start line warming their tyres now. James Dean will be in the chase position, and Harold Veltman will lead him out.
You know, James Dean's not going to leave any room here. He's going to make sure, I mean, he's at the top 8. He's already knows that if he's going up against a top 8 competitor, he's already won 2 battles to get here. So this guy's no walkover. And Valma's been incredible all day. So Dean's going to have to go for the door here. He's going to have to show why he's considered to be one of the best in the world. Here we go again.
Yeah, Veltman now to lead out Dean. Who's going to take this through? Dean giving Veltman some room. As Veltman fires it in, Dean just jumps on the foot brake, gives us slightly to get that car down. And look at this, James Dean all over the side of that HGK E46. Oh! James Dean almost pushing himself off circuit as they transition in front of the judging tower. James Dean jumps on the foot brake one more time as Veltman now fires it to the wall. James Dean looks like he's losing a little bit of ground here, Dave, as Veltman powers across the finish line.
I almost saw the underside of James Dean's car there. Both front wheels went off the ground on the curb. Now, that would have meant Valma on the wrong line, but at the same time, Ian, James Dean could have made a massive error there.
Yeah, it looks like James Dean did make an error, got himself way on the inside curb, but could it be all done for James Dean in the first half of the battle?
Oh, well, I mean, watch this again. Dean dives in the center of the track. He just stays out of those chevrons just about. As he transitions here, watch this. He gets pushed into the inside, but Valma's on an inside line. Dean goes up on the curb. Stays in it though, it loses ground here. It's not the greatest run from either driver. Oh, it's going to be hard for the judges to call this one. It's for space in the top 4, remember. With 2 shots at the podium, up for grabs, this is a big decision.
So we await that decision to come in. Judges just inputting their scores into the system.
So we have a decision. Who's going to go through to the semi-final? Will it be Varma? Will it be Dean? Mistakes on both sides, but who made the lesser? And it looks like one vote for James Dean. Will he get the second vote? He will. James Dean goes to the semi-final. It's unanimous from the judges. After a fantastic battle from both of these guys, we kick it back to the judges. Talk us through it. Not the most fluid of runs.
For the first run there was, okay, with James in lead position, James put it's one of probably not the very best run of the day from James in the lead position, but it was still a really, really good run. But Harold in the chase position, he just didn't really bring the battle. He got proximity in place, but he didn't maintain it, especially near the end. When he swapped it around, James, good proximity through the first section of the track, and the biggest problem I saw with that run is, in the briefing we told the lead driver, they have to be a metre out from inner clip 1, and that's where the clipping box is marked. But the chase driver is allowed to put a wheel up on the curb on the inside. But in the lead position, Harold actually was on the curb, and he put James very, very tight in there and compromised him from that point on. James could have had better proximity for the rest of the run, and he probably would have had if he hadn't been pinned in illegally, in a sense, by the lead car. So it was a big advantage to James on the second one as well.
So James Dean goes through to the top 4.
Yep.
And from my perspective right now, this is the battle that he's going to be facing. The winner of this, and both of these guys have been unstoppable. Koplinsky and that BMW, he's been here before, looking incredibly strong. The drier it gets, both of these guys are going to get more confident. They're getting closer to each other. Romanovski, though, he has got his teammate Hippie on the other side, and there's a little bit of rivalry there between these two guys. We haven't seen Romanovski jump up into those semi-finals yet, but Koplinsky, he was impressive in Hungary, he was impressive in Poland, he's jumping up that championship order. Some people dropping out now. People are starting to think about that championship, and James Dean in the semi-final will be the way to get it done. As they come off the line, Pavel Koplinsky will lead out Romanovski as they come through the gears, and definitely the speed is picking up here, Ian.
Yeah, definitely picking up as they fire those cars in. Look at Romanovski though. Romanovski now starts to get on it as Koplinsky fires that car on an absolutely perfect lead line. Romanovski sticks it out to the outer clipping zone 3 though.
He had to back out, Ian. He went a little bit too hot towards clipping out of zone 3. Backed out a little bit and left Koplinsky with all that pace in that BMW 1 Series. You don't want to give him any opportunity to pull away, and he did a little bit there.
No, but for me, Koplinsky didn't take the cleanest line from clipping point 2 through to 3. He kind of shortcutted the circuit again. See how the judges score this one, and look at this on the replay. You can see Koplinsky, very nice line here, nice and wide, and then kind of darts across the circuit. Look at this, completely avoids going out to outer zone 3. Gets back online, but Koplinsky having to do all the work in that chase position.
Romanovski just tags the wall. He hasn't kept the bumper on that. You know
all
what?
day.
He has got a mechanic that keeps running up to the finish line, grabbing that bumper, coming back down, and every single run he takes the bumper off on the last wall.
Yep.
And that, you know what? I feel for that mechanic. He's been running up and down all day. He's like a marathon.
He's
man.
tired.
He's tired. Rain, sun, he's still running after that bumper. So right now they go back up to the start line. On that replay, it looked like to me that Romanovski backs off a little bit. I don't think on this Riga circuit you can back off anywhere. As James Dean and some of the higher qualifiers said, if it's fully dry here, which it almost is, there's just a couple of little wet patches left in it. If it is fully dry on this first section, you should be aiming to be full throttle the whole way through. Romanovski maybe backed off thinking it was slipperier than it was.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't, and it actually got a lot of grip and it slowed him down a little bit. So Koplinsky now jumps into the chase position. He's got I would imagine, an advantage after the first run. I think everybody could see that he finished way ahead of Romanovski on the run and had a good lead qualifying run. So he now is in the chase position. He's going to put it on the door. Puts it on the door, stays close. He's going to the semi-final against James Dean. And this is Romanovski's chance to come in here faster, and then he's probably 10 miles an hour faster than he's done all day. He's got to risk it here.
He has got to risk it all as he fires that car. And look at that, he does, Dave. He uses the pace in that E30 BMW as he fires that car through now. Romanovski looking absolutely solid as he gets that car out to outer zone 3. Koplinsky makes a shortcut to try and gain proximity, and Romanovski looks unstoppable, almost contact on transition.
And Koplinsky now goes towards the wall as well, and Romanovski gets himself back in the fight, Ian. We knew he had to go in there fast. He knew it. He would have been told on the radio, You know the safe speed you've been kind of doing?
Forget it.
Can we add like 20 mile an hour to that? Because that's the only way you're going to leave this guy for dead. He's got a fast car. He did it. Got the job done. Leaving a tough call for the judges. Watch the speed he carries in here.
Look at
That's
this.
up over 100 miles an hour for sure.
Look at the distance pulled between already on Koplinsky. Koplinsky really can't catch him up, tries to make the dives on the transition, just can't get there. And then Koplinsky shortcuts the circuit massively to get proximity and still doesn't really gain it, even on the transition back onto the wall. And Koplinsky, for me, he already knows that he hasn't done enough to win this battle. As Koplinsky and Romanovski get out of the
deliberating this one, Ian.
Maybe not as clear cut as what I assume it is.
What do you assume happened there, Ian?
I'm going to say as much, in my eyes, Romanovski gets the win.
You think so?
Yeah, very much so.
I think Romanovski makes a big error in the chase position, and when he backs out, and that's Koplinsky away. I'm on the other side of this one.
I don't know.
So one of us is wrong.
One of us is definitely wrong.
Probably you.
It's probably
If we were to
me.
go by historical statistics, it would be you.
For me, it's the line that Koplinsky takes. Koplinsky does the same thing twice. He completely bails out of taking that outer zone 3, and he does it again here. Look at this. Romanovski gets out to it. Not all the way, not perfect, but Koplinsky shortcuts the circuit to try and make the line. It's going to be close.
We're split.
We're
the
split.
judges are
The
deliberating.
judges are definitely split. Do you know the easiest way to do this, Dave?
Flip
One more time.
I was going to flip a coin.
Oh, no, I was going to say
No.
one more time.
Okay. So the guys are out of the cars. You can see the toll this event has taken on them. They are in the heat for 2 days, then in the rain, then in the heat again. It is a very tough competition. This is the highest standard in Europe. These are the guys that are coming down to top 8 in the entirety of Europe at this sport. And remember, we have over 25 national championships in Europe, and they are almost all of them represented here. So these are the best of the best from each individual nation, and they are nervously standing in front of the screen, watching themselves wait for the results.
So the
And the judges are still deliberating, and they are now just watching themselves on the screen awkwardly.
Deliberate.
They're watching themselves nervously watch themselves. It's a bit like Inception.
Inception, yeah.
So now they're just like, oh, okay, we got a result. Judges. What is the result, though? Slide him left for Romanovski. Who's going up against James Dean in the top 4? Will it be Koplinsky on the right, Romanovski on the left? Oh, David goes one more time. Where are Kevin and Kieran going here? Kevin goes for Romanovski. And Kieran, where is he going to? It's going for Romanovski. Romanovski gets the win and goes through to the top 4, meaning it's the wrong call because you were right, Ian.
If that's the thing.
That's the thing. It was the wrong right call. And we got to go back to the judges. Guys, that was a tough one. You guys were talking for a little while there.
Yeah, lots of deliberation here, Dave. Tough one to call. Both drivers making quite a few mistakes in their chase run, so it kind of really comes down to the lead runs. Powell's lead run, it was quite good, and he gained a little bit of a gap on Romanovski, but he did miss clipping point outer zone 3 by an awful lot. Romanovski in his chase, he does wash a little bit wide on inner clip 1 and has to back off a lot to not go off track. But other than that, it's an okay chase. But Powell definitely came away with a slight advantage after the first run for me. Then you switch him around, and Romanovski, I think, had a fantastic lead. Very, very good, well on the qualifying line, and very few mistakes to note on that one. But unfortunately, Powell had a fairly sizable wobble coming in on initiation, and he completely missed clipping point outer zone 3 just to gain some proximity back onto Romanovski. He'd finished strongly, but that was because he cut the track massively at outer zone 3 and almost on 4 as well, just to gain back on his door, so we couldn't really reward him from that. And because Romanovski had such a strong lead, he gained him more of an advantage than what Powell had in his lead run, so Romanovski takes the win.
There you go, Ian.
I was right.
You were both wrong, essentially. Just because the judge doesn't make it right, but yeah. My man Koplinsky will be back.
He'll be back.
for round 4. Now, Mikkel Overgaard, he's the story of the weekend so far.
Yeah.
The Danish driver couldn't even get into the top, out of the top 32 before, now has a chance at a semi-final, showing exactly what he's made of. He goes up against Gregor Hippie. He's one of the favorites to take this. He's looking across the back bracket at James Dean saying, I'm in third position in the championship. He's in first. I need to get to that final and beat him. That's what he's thinking. But he's got to go through a very on-form Mikkel Overgaard, track drying rapidly here. It's almost dry conditions, but there's some patchy areas. This is going to be a tough one, but Hippie again, look at the pace of these E30 BMWs.
Yeah, look at this, he's up and gone as Hippie fires it in on initiation before Mikkel Overgaard has even considered an initiation. Hippie absolutely flying. Gregor Hippie right now on an absolutely perfect lead line. Mikkel Overgaard though, not deviating away, not trying to cut circuit, trying to stick to the qualifying line and do everything he can to try and gain back some lost ground as he
look at the
finally
pace he comes across the finish line towards Hippie. He just picked up a lot of pace in that last section, but it looked like it was the run into the first corner that did the damage as Hippie came out of the blocks flying.
Yeah, unbelievable. That car gets up and goes very, very well.
I mean, is there anything that can stop those two E30 BMWs right now? They are seemingly the fastest machines on the grid. Is it the bravery? I think it's the bravery.
Yeah.
I think they're coming in there at least 15 miles an hour faster than anybody else, and that's what's giving them that big gap. The other driver's like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's going to definitely crash. And he holds it.
Yeah, they can't be caught. They just cannot be caught.
And you can look at the pace that Overgaard picks up here, though, like a rocket back onto the rear bumper, but it's almost too little too late. So for me, right now, it looks very like it's going to be an advantage to
Gregor Hippie,
Yeah, and again, he's got his teammate. You know, two of those guys are in the top four. That's a great weekend for those guys from Poland.
For their team, for Poland, points for the championship.
For E30 BMWs in general, it's a great time.
Well, Adam Zaleski is still yet to battle, so we could have three BMWs and an S14, 3 Polishmen, 1 Irishman.
I don't like those odds. I don't like those odds. Not being biased.
Not being biased.
But I don't like those odds.
It doesn't go in your favour. It's not.
No. So, again, this one's not over yet.
It's not over yet, though. This could go either way. We could have a Dane in the mix.
That I'd like to see.
That you'd like to see.
I would. So then it would mix it up a little bit, half and half. That's, you know, you can see Mikkel Overgaard's car in fantastic condition after this weekend.
Never raced or rallied.
No, absolutely perfect. He hasn't hit anything all weekend. As the lights go green, it will be Hippie in the chase, and he's got the pace in that E30. As we said, Overgaard's out of the blocks quick, though. He's trying to get away from him. Overgaard's going to try and risk it, but Hippie's not letting him away.
No, he's not going to escape from that E30. Look how wide Hippie initiated all the way on the white line, and look at Hippie now. Comes through the smoke to get on the door, but Mikkel Overgaard has absolutely turned it on and found some smoke. Whoa, the dive from Gregor Hippie was phenomenal.
Oh, Overgaard's a big angle, can he? Oh, look at the pace of Overgaard's car. It's like it's in fast forward.
It's just up and gone out of nowhere. Unbelievable stuff from Mikkel Overgaard.
Where did this pace come from?
It's like he just flicked a switch in the car and
he went, oh, that's the power button. I'll press that.
Yeah. Look at this. Gregor Hippie does a phenomenal job, though, in the chase position right up until the last moments.
But it's here. Look at Overgaard's car. It just takes off like a rocket.
Absolutely phenomenal. The dive through the smoke from Hippie. Look at Hippie, though. Squeezes the accelerator. And then Mikkel Overgaard flips the switch. And he is up and gone across the finish line.
I mean, I don't even know.
No.
Because now Overgaard's stayed a claim there. He's got the pace. Hippie wasn't all over him.
Nope.
Did Hippie get enough done in the first half of the battle to see this one through to the top 4, to the semi-final? As both drivers exit their car, as I give a big round of applause to the audience here. Results are dropping in. The drivers give each other a hug, but who's going to go through to the top 4 and slide him left for Mikkel Overgaard? Slide him right for Hippie. Hippie gets 1 vote. He needs 1 more to go through to the top 4. And he gets it. Gregor Hippie goes through to the top 4. And you can see what it means to him. The smiles all around for Gregor Hippie as he gets into the car. You can see how happy he is. And you know what a weekend for Mikkel Overgaard, showing exactly what Danish drifting is all about. They'll be very proud of him. But over to the judges. Talk us through it, guys. Hippie once again marching through.
Yeah, from the first run there, Hippie absolutely massive gap pulled on Overgaard, unfortunately. And then Overgaard then to try and close in that gap a little bit, completely misses clipping point 3 and 4 just to get back on his door a little bit by the finish line. But overall, Hippie had a massive advantage from that run. Switch him around then, and then we love to see the aggression from Hippie. Absolutely on Overgaard's door from the first, from the initiation point all the way up until almost outer zone 4. He falls off a little bit there. I think he gets caught in the smoke a little bit, but up until that point he had a sizable advantage anyway, and losing that little bit of proximity wasn't enough to overturn the advantage from the first run. So Hippie takes the win overall.
So there we go, Grzegorz Hippie gets the win, and you know what, Dave? Whatever way this goes, it's going to be 3 Polishmen and an Irishman in the final.
And yeah, I think we have the right man in the fight. But Polish drifting making a big statement here in Latvia.
Very big statement.
21 nations, only 2 remaining, but one of those nations is a very stacked side of that bracket. And it will be Romanovski against James Dean, and it will be Hippie as the winner of this battle. It'll be either Zaleski or Stolarski. Now, Zalewski's carving his way through legends here. He's gone through Kaushik. Yep. Can he go through Stolarski? The 18-year-old, he's the current defending champion. Take down another legend of Polish drifting. Look at this. Stolarski's not letting him away on a big initiation. Now we're starting to see full commitment.
Yeah, look at this. So Zalewski stands on it. But look at Stolarski. Stolarski right on the door as they fire through outer zone 3. Stolarski makes his way through the smoke. Zalewski looks like he is on rails though, Dave, as he fires that car to the wall. One more transition for Zalewski. Can he escape the OG? And he certainly can.
You know what? That is a fast.
Very fast.
I think I'm just going to buy a BMW E30 and put a V8 in it, because
that's got a 2JZ.
Well, like the other guys.
Yeah.
You think it's got a 2? I think
it definitely has a 2JZ.
No, it has a 2JZ, you're right. So I'm going to put a V8 and a 2JZ in an E30 and beat everybody, if that's possible. But Zaleski on those Destino tires, look at the smoke clouds he's creating. Stolarski has 1,100 horsepower, and he just can't catch him. And I'm not sure if that's just a car and grip issue. I think it's a bravery issue. Zalewski does not come off the throttle from the first corner all the way to the deceleration zone. And he's tapping the roof of the car, showing he's comfortable, showing he's confident, and he's chilled out in there.
Yeah.
He's just relaxed. Probably sending a tweet. Putting up an Instagram selfie.
What are the kids doing these days,
yeah,
Dave?
18-year-old. He's 18 years of age, so first of all, he's not listening to anybody on the radio.
Nope.
He's saying whatever.
Yeah, I'll do my own thing.
Do my own thing. He's putting up an Instagram post. He's tagging everybody in it.
Yep. Snapchatting it.
Yep. Snapchatting what's going on, saying, hey, I'm just relaxing in my car doing over 100 miles an hour sideways. What are you guys at?
Yeah, where are you doing on this sunny day in Latvia?
Yep. Incredible. Incredible the talent and of the youth in this continent that, you know, I don't think, do you know what I'm going to go out on a limb and say? You can argue all you want about which is the best continent for drifting in the world, right? That's an argument that will go on forever.
Forever, yeah.
I'm going to put some facts to you, though. Well, facts, but my opinion is usually fact. So what I'm saying is that I think Europe, without a doubt, and you couldn't argue it, is producing the best young talent in drifting.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I don't think you could argue that.
No.
When you've got, you know, 18-year-old Adam Zalewski, and you've got Connor Shanahan out there, and you've got guys out there on the grid that are, you know, 18 or less, at this level, with the best of 21 nations. I don't think anywhere else in the world is producing it. And Adam Zalewski, you know, Polish drifting, obviously the language barrier, a lot of you guys who are listening in English will not have watched too much Polish drifting. This kid is special, but he's got to be super special now, because this guy is up against Stolarski. He is no walkover. 50 podiums in his career. That means he's been there, he's done it, and he's been in positions like this before, Ian, where he's had to fight back. And that's exactly what he's going to do now.
Yeah, but look right now, Adam Zalewski's going to make him fight for it as he tags on the back bumper of that S14. They fire it in door on door into the first turn, and Adam Zalewski starts to give Bartosz Stolarski something to think about as he almost pushes him into outer zone 3 through the smoke transition.
Whoa,
Adam Zalewski.
big dive from Zalewski.
Zalewski absolutely nailing it now. Starts to stick it back at the door again. Can he make one more dive? He can.
Wow.
As he pushes Bartosz Stolarski across the line.
18-year-old from Poland, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know, now you know. Adam Zalewski, that's why he is the defending Drift Masters European champion. He is a brave kid.
He is a very brave young man indeed.
And you know what? I'm not sure if it's a done deal there at all, because of course judges will be watching replays and checking out, but the bravery alone. Look at the transition behind Stolarski here from 1 to 2. This is over 90 miles an hour. Wham! Like inches from the back bumper.
It's the dive through the smoke. Look at this. He gets out to outer zone 3.
He can't see anything.
He through the smoke, and then he goes, there you are. I'll just get closer. Just
and
for
he's
fun.
just so confident. That is impressive stuff. No matter where you're from or where you're watching it from, let us know. If you guys want to share it out there across the world, let people know that it's going down in Riga today with some of the hottest talent in world drifting. And as they exit the car, Adam Zaleski has Talansky get a huge round of applause from the Riga grandstand for an incredible display of edge of your seat drifting, Ian, is what I'd call it.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, one of these guys is going to take the final spot in the top
and then
4.
4 remain, and to be honest, those 4, they're going to absolute
They're going to go to
war.
Yeah.
Whew, let's see which way it goes. Zaleski, you can see how much it means to him. He's anxiously waiting for the result. Slide him left for Stolarski, right for Zalewski. Who's going through to the final 4? Zalewski gets 1 vote. He needs 1 more to make it to the semi-final. Will he get it? Poland holds its breath. He will. Adam Zalewski gets the call. He's in the top 4. Impressive stuff from Adam Zalewski. Back to you guys in the judging panel. It is really heating up out here.
Yeah, it's getting pretty good now. Adam, yeah, look, heard a lot about this lad. It's now starting to show his true colours. Lead run, really good. No issues with lead run. Perfect. Can't really complain there. Martos, he didn't have a lot of proximity to start. You know, he kind of fell off a little bit more near the end. So by the end of the first one, we had an advantage at him. Not a massive one, but he had advantage at him for the first one. But in the second one there, you had to see Adam was aggressive from the very start. He had an advantage from the very point that they started all the way through out of zone 1. The only error I saw from Bartos really is he should have got deeper into clip 3, which made it a little bit more difficult for Adam to be able to scrub his speed. And when they transitioned out to 4, he kept, you know, he was able to deal with it. And then when Bartos actually transitions, he should be wide on the wall to give Adam a better chance to get on his door. He didn't do that either, so it was a difficult line to follow for the end there for Adam, but he dealt with it really well. So a big advantage for Adam on the second one as well.
So there we
There
go.
you have it, and we are now on to our final 4. We're going to take a small break. Ian, we need
I need a little sit down, and a little drink, just to think about what's going on.
because we need to prepare.
Yeah, I need to prepare.
Because we know what's going to happen now.
Yep.
We're going to lose our voice.
Yep.
We're going to fall out of this 3-story scaffold.
Yep.
We're going to go crazy. You guys at home are waiting for the best 4 in the
In
continent.
the continent, yeah.
In Riga here to go for that podium. Each of these drivers will get 2 shots at the podium, 3 trophies, 4 drivers, 3 of them Polish, 1 of them Irish. Surely the Polish will take it, or could the Irish creep in at the last minute? We're going to take a small break. We're back in just 3 minutes time. Don't go anywhere. We're back with more action from Drift Masters European Championship. So we are back live here in Riga. It's the top 4. Ian, it's the top 4.
I mean, listen, it's
72
been
drivers.
a dramatic day. A dramatic
It's
day.
about to get a whole lot more dramatic.
70 to 32. Then it rained forever.
A lot of rain.
A lot of rain.
I think
Some
we got all of
some
Europe's
big crashes.
There was a guy on his roof
There's a
at
guy
one
on
point.
his roof. We had some crashes. Now we have 4. 3 of them Polish, all in E30s, and an Irishman in an 800 horsepower 2JZ S14, who also is a Formula Drift champion.
But the man on the other side of the bracket is the current Drift Masters European champion.
Oh yeah.
Who beat, what's that? Oh, James
Oh,
Dean.
James Dean, yeah.
Beat him to win it in the past.
Yeah.
So this is what it all comes down to. A final 4, 2 rounds. We are ready to send cars from the line for the final 4. And James,
this one. Because
Romanovski comes in here as the underdog, but I am saying his car is one of the fastest out there.
And you know what? Romanovski's teammate beat James Dean at the last round. So
Well,
James
you know what?
Dean and these guys have beef.
That's a sneaky bit of information
They
here.
have beef.
And you know what? Wouldn't it be an announcement onto World Drifting for Romanovski to say, oh, who am I? I'm the guy that beat the
James
world
Dean.
champion.
Well, they're off the line.
Here
Who's
we
it
go.
going to be, Dave?
James Dean coming through the gears as they come into the first corner. James Dean initiates.
Oh,
Zaleski.
Romanovski. No, Romanovski falls back
sorry,
ever
my
so
mistake.
slightly. Yeah, Romanovski now starts to get back in the mix. Oh, look at the speed of James Dean. As he fires that car, Romanovski comes through the smoke. James Dean absolutely flying as he fires that car on the wall. Romanovski now starts to gain some lost ground. Can he get back on the door? He can as he pushes James Dean over the line.
Romanovski got a little bit caught there on the
you know
run-in.
what? I think he got left on the line.
I think James Dean
I think
absolutely
James
fired
Dean-
through that chicane.
Yeah.
And Romanovski is like, oh man, I got to get back into this.
Because he knows how quick Hippie's car gets up off the line. he must have seen that green light and been absolutely gone, because
look at the line right to the edge of the circuit. Now, full dry conditions, just what we wanted, Ian, for the final four. Full dry conditions, and James Dean tagging the teal and blue on that wall as Romanovski makes a last-ditch effort across the line. Do you know what, though? Dean looking strong on that first half of the battle.
Very strong. Yeah,
maybe
James
three
Dean,
Polish and one Irish left in this, but that one Irish man has plenty of fight.
Oh, he's got some fight in him, that's for sure. As we get them back to the start line, Romanovski now will get the opportunity to lead out James Dean.
But for Romanovski right now, he's in the lead position. This is where he caught out a lot of people.
Yeah.
What he does here is basically say that he doesn't want to live anymore, so he goes in about 15 mile an hour faster than you should really go into that corner. And I don't know if anybody can match that. James Dean is going to have to.
Yeah, I mean,
but he's going to now push beyond that limit, because these guys are clocking against themselves on single runs in practice and in qualifying. Now in the battles, speed is a big part of it. If you get that advantage of getting a little bit ahead, don't give the chase car much of an opportunity to make a move.
No.
Now, you can tell Romanovski, look at that, not even looking left or right. He's looking at that corner saying, okay, if I can get a fourth gear here, if I can go up to 110 miles an hour and throw it in, James may not be able to stick with that. And that is a possibility right now.
Well,
this is really risky stuff.
Very, very eager to get off the line. James Dean jumps the line. He knows he cannot let him get away as Romanovski smashes through the gears and fires it. Dean is door and door with him as they come round the first turn.
Oh, look
at James Dean! James Dean dives into the inner zone as Romanovski now looks to transition. James Dean!
Oh,
wow!
How did they not make contact?
James Dean defied all the limits and put his car on the back of Romanovski's car. He makes one last-ditch attempt.
There's no way. There's
line.
no way you don't make contact with that.
What?
He transitioned. There wasn't even space to transition.
Around him. What
it was like a vortex black hole, and he just went around physics right there. Because, look, if this is conventional James Dean, look how close he is here. On the door as they come through the corner, almost makes contact. And this is all good. But watch this next transition as they come through the corner. Dean transitions before Romanovski. The front bumper grazes the back of Romanovski's car, and they're back in it again. That is insane, Ian. You go anywhere in the world and you will see just maneuvers like that.
This is unbelievable stuff right now, what we are witnessing here at Drift Masters Grand Prix round 3 in Riga. It's just phenomenal.
The runs are done, and this is for a spot in the final. This is for all the marbles right now.
This is it. This is where championship points start to come into play in a big way. Scores drop in. Who's it going to be, Dave?
Who's going to the final? Is it Romanovski? Is it James Dean? Will James Dean go to the final? He got one vote. He needs one more to put an Irishman in the final. Where's it going to go next? It is James Dean, and he gets the win and goes through to the final. The crowd go wild, and Eddie Power is down on the track. He's going to have a word with James Dean. Then we're going to go to our judges after that. But we want to get that initial reaction. An emotional day for all of these drivers out there. And James himself right now is going to be telling us what he's feeling on the track, because it's been a tough day at the office.
James Dean, you're going through to the final. And before we talk about that, what about that for a chase run? Just talk us through that run. It's been a really tough day, but that battle was insane.
It's a really tough day, especially with the conditions changing. Every lap we've driven here this evening has been different, so it's really challenging for all the drivers, but it's pretty much full dry now. There's still some little sketchy patches down there, but I risked it all and pushed hard, so really enjoyed it as a driver, and I enjoyed it as a driver, and I hope the crowd enjoyed it too.
Hippie or Zaleski in the final. Either way, it's not going to be easy. Do you have a preference?
I don't mind. It's going to be a BMW E30 and we're going to push hard, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, we're looking forward to watching it, James. Congratulations on getting to the final.
Thank you very much.
There you have it from Eddie Power. We're going to quickly go back to the judges. Guys, talk us through that decision. Again, another masterclass from James Dean.
Yeah, James is just, he has that line absolutely dialed in today. On his lead run, absolutely flawless lead line, hitting every single clipping point. Would have been an extremely high qualifying score if it was run. Unfortunately for Romanovski, he was quite low on outer zone 1, and he didn't have much proximity. Okay, he had flashes of it in places, but he was really struggling to keep up with James's pace, and he also had to dive as well to maintain some of that proximity. So for me, because James's lead run was so perfect, he actually came away with a very, very slight advantage from his lead run. Then you switch him around and oh my God, James's chase run was absolutely perfect. All over the door of Romanovski the whole way throughout. There was actually nothing to even complain about. Romanovski had quite a good lead line, but definitely not the cleanest, especially where he almost put a wheel off on outer zone 3, but James just dealt with it flawlessly, and he came away with a very big advantage from his chase run. So overall, James takes the win.
Well, yeah, it's what we're used to seeing from James Dean, pushing it all out there, and you can see how much it means to him to stay, and right now looking good for the championship too, going into the final. Now Romanovski, not over for him yet.
No.
He's going to have a fight for the 3rd place on the podium, so he could still pick up a trophy here. We could see 2 of the Drift Warriors on the podium, still likely to happen. If Adam Zaleski, though, has anything to say about it, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, yeah.
Because they could be the 2 teammates going against each other in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Oh, we have a big noise from behind the scenes. Zalewski's car in trouble. He has an issue with the car. He has 1 minute to get to the start line. If he doesn't get to the start line, he will forfeit the run to Gregor Hippie, and Hippie will automatically go to the final. You can see the countdown timers on your screens, and as you can see right now, he's got 50 seconds to get to the start line, and Zalewski's had an issue. We don't know what that issue is. To be honest, where they're working on the cars is out of our sight. It's also it's in the forest.
It's miles away.
It's miles away. So we have no idea. We're trying to get reports back from our marshals, but Zaleski, who we were looking forward to seeing take on Hippie, reporting a big issue with the car. He's got 32 seconds to get back to the line, and this is not looking good for Adam Zaleski. Another mechanical failure could cost him this one.
I mean, listen, just when you thought that Adam Zaleski was getting a break, and we was kind of seeing, you know, we was hyped up when we came into this championship. We knew about Adam Zaleski. We'd watched him. We'd seen how good he was. We came into this championship, and that guy has just had very, very, very bad luck. And you know what? Just when you thought he was getting a break, Dave, and he was going to finally...
Yeah, we're counting down here, Ian. 7 seconds to go, and have we got an Adam Zaleski? I don't see him.
It looked like he was going to finally put a step on the podium this weekend, and again, mechanical failure takes him out, and he is not on the line. That means Gregor
Look at Hippie. He is devastated. He is devastated. He didn't want that.
No, fellow Polishman. He wanted a battle. He wanted a battle, Adam. And yeah, I mean, Gregor Hippie now will do a solo run.
Yep.
He has
full dry conditions, and he knows he's going up against James Dean in the final. That's a guarantee now. So Hippie is going to put in what James didn't get, a practice run here, because he gets a run, obviously, because Zalewski's not there. Let's see what Hippie's got on this, Ian, because he has to go up against James Dean. We know he's got the pace.
Yeah, and listen, it's a rematch. At round 2, we see Gregor Hippie take on James Dean. Hippie came out the winner. Can Hippie do it again? Can he beat James Dean again, this time in dry conditions?
Look at the speed!
How fast does
can you catch that? That's the question for James Dean.
Can James Dean keep up with him?
I don't know. He was the only driver I've seen on full throttle, full maximum attack from outer zone 3 to 4. Whew. I mean, from my perspective, he is a worthy opponent of James Dean in the final. It will be Ireland versus Poland. And you know what? We got to make it official from our judges that is the way and the order. The graphics come up on the screen, and of course it's going to be a hollow victory for Gregor Hippie, but he'll take it.
So the problem we have now is how long has Adam Zalewski got to fix his car? Because he now needs to battle next.
Or automatically give up.
Or he automatically gives up his spot. And Romanovski, that means we will see
2 of the Drift Warriors
on the podium and a James Dean.
In 2 E30s with LSX engines. Goes to show that's the chassis of choice. So Hippie's going to get out of the car here.
And stalls the car.
Stalls it. They're going to make it official here, as obviously we didn't see Adam. I'm gutted for the kid.
Honestly, am absolutely heartbroken.
And we're not going to see Zalewski fight it out for the top 4.
Yeah,
you can see Hippie, look, he's just, you know what?
Yeah, listen,
it's a half bow to the crowd. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't want it this way, but he's going to have a word with Eddie Power here, and yeah, he's going to the final against James Dean. I'm sure we're going to get his thoughts on that. So it will be Hippie versus Dean in the final.
I'm here with Gregor Hippie just as he takes off his safety gear. Gregor, not the way you would have wanted to go through to the final, but a place in the final nonetheless. And no better man to face than James Dean. A bit of a rivalry between you two now, and very valuable points in the championship. Poland versus Ireland. Who's going to take the top step on the podium?
Takes the podium who wins all competition. And I don't know, we be very close. because I don't have battle with Adam Zaleski, and with James will be.
So you're expecting to go close with James. We're hoping to see you go close. We're looking forward to a really exciting final, and look, we wish you the very best of luck.
Okay, thank you. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gregor Hippie.
So Gregor's Hippie, he's pumped.
Yeah, he wants to take down James Dean again. He's done it once in the rain. I'm pretty sure he wants to do it in the dry here. He's on form, he looks strong. And you know what? Like you said, Dave, listen, I'm a massive James Dean fan. I don't know if James Dean has that pace.
I don't think anyone has that pace.
Because that car is so fast.
I'm guaranteeing you when we finish here today, there's going to be about 400 people around that car going, why and how is that car so fast? But I think there's one component that he has in that car different than James Dean, and that's Gregor Hippie. And Gregor Hippie's brain is a component that says, I'm going to go in there faster than anybody.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, Gregor Hippie there, you can see he's being calm and cool about it, but he's saying, I'm going to be on James Dean. End of story. I'm going to be on the door. You think James Dean's going to get away from me? Not a chance. He's gutted. He wanted that battle with Adam Zaleski. He wanted to earn the final with James Dean, but let's be honest. There's one little statistic that everybody's forgetting here. We're 3 rounds in.
Yep.
Okay. Of the 2 drivers in the final, which one has won a round of Drift Masters this year?
Both these guys.
No, they haven't, because James Dean came second.
Hasn't won a round. Yeah, you're right. I keep thinking he's won a round because he's so high up in the championship.
He's won Formula Drift rounds.
Yeah. But he's so high in the championship, you kind of forget that he hasn't won a round. 2 second places. Yeah.
But he hasn't. In round 1, he was beaten by Connor Shanahan. In round 2, he was beaten by.
Yeah, Gregor's Hippie.
Who?
Yeah, Gregor's Hippie.
Yeah, Gregor Hippie beat James Dean at the last round.
Can he do it again?
Now, James is on fire. Don't get me wrong. He's looking strong out there. But Hippie is so fast, so committed. He knows James Dean's style. He knows that he can push harder on James than anybody else on the grid all day. He's not going to give him an inch. There's probably going to be contact. There's definitely going to be carnage. There's definitely going to be 2 guys not backing down. It's the last run of the day, so they can risk it that little bit more than they could have all day before.
Yeah, they're going to put the cars on the line.
The cars are on the line. I mean, with all these people here, especially with us here, Ian, and we're hard to impress.
We're hard to impress,
So they're definitely going to put it on the line. The place here is just as a tension. There's a certain tension in the air now that everyone's like, okay, we kind of saw this coming from a while off.
Yeah.
We saw James, we saw Gregor Hippie, we saw those guys starting to make their way through that bracket.
Yep.
And right there, right at the end, you can see Gregor Hippie saying, that's how close I'm going to be to James Dean. I hope so. I really hope so, because we are in for one hell of a final.
Yeah, we definitely are.
If you're new to drifting, this is what it's all about. Rivalries. Ireland versus Poland. 2 completely. One's a turboed car, one's a V8 car. One is an old school car, one is not so old school car.
Yep.
And these guys run completely different tires. James representing Falcon tires, Hippie running Extreme. And the other question that is being answered, well, not answered, but being asked down, is will Adam Zaleski make the 3rd and 4th place playoff for the trophy, for that last trophy?
Yeah.
You come all the way to Riga, you battle through 72 drivers, and you get there, and your car breaks down, so you can't go to the semi-final. Well, it would be heartbreaking if he couldn't make it out just to fight for that last trophy against Romanovski. Both of those guys have been insane all day. And it does mean that we will have 2 Polish trophies and 1 Irish trophy.
Yeah.
But the way they're ordered, it's up in the air right now.
Yeah, we don't know what way it's going to go. Like you say, right now it hangs in the balance for Adam Zaleski. We've seen that car have issues from round 1 in Płock in Poland.
Yeah, and we've got 2 battles left, just if you're keeping count. We've got 2 battles left. One of them is for the 3rd place trophy, so 3rd and 4th place. The last is the final, of course. And we have got some of the most insane drivers from across Europe whittled down. We started here on Wednesday building a track. Thursday, the teams came and set everything up. 72 hopefuls thought they would make it to the top step of the podium. But through torrential rain, changing surface conditions, crashes, cars on the roofs, we bring it down to just 4 and 3 trophies. And one of these guys is going to go home without a trophy. Yep. As harsh as that sounds, but it's a harsh sport. Ian's harsh, the sport's harsh. The conditions today have been harsh. So it looks like we're getting some information, and it might be some good information, Ian. It's in my headset that I think he might just have fixed this car. Adam Zalewski's in it for the 3rd and 4th place
and
playoff.
We've got the battle we wanted.
We've got
the battle we wanted.
We didn't want Zalewski going home without even a fighting chance of getting a trophy. Unfortunately, he won't be making it to the final, but he can still take 3rd spot, and he's ready to go. Look at that. A pat on the shoulder from our start line marshal saying, man, I'm glad to see you here. Romanovski's thumbs up all round. 2 E30s, one with a V8, one with a 2JZ. Both of these guys looking straight forward and saying, let's do this. Last runs of the day for both of these guys. One trophy up for grabs. Someone's going home without one. Will it be Zaleski? Will it be Romanovski? Flying through the gears one more time up to 100 miles an hour and throwing it in. Zaleski's up and gone.
Yeah, Zaleski has absolutely disappeared as Romanovski now stands on the accelerator and starts to hunt down the 2017 champ. Zaleski on that perfect lead line, and look at Romanovski looking to hunt down the door. Can he put some proximity into this battle? Oh, he starts to make the dive as they come through the final sections. Romanovski starts to push on the 2017 champion.
Wow, impressive stuff from Zaleski. He came in hot into that first corner.
Very
Romanovski, though, he started to climb back into it. As they came from transition 1 to 2, he started to make that dive, got himself back in the fight. But look at the speed of Zaleski on that first corner.
Yeah, Zaleski absolutely up and gone. Romanovski had to kind of reconsider what he was doing, made a big dive there as they come into outer clipping zone 2. And then look at Zalewski's line, absolutely perfect. Couldn't put a foot wrong. Zalewski didn't put a foot wrong.
It's making us think what could have been with Hippie.
What could it have been?
What could it have been in the semi-final if he had that car fixed?
Could we have seen?
I'm not too sure what happened to the car or what broke, but they've obviously got it fixed. His team got under it, but frustrating. But right now he's saying, well, you know what? I am not going home here without a trophy.
No.
And that's exactly what he's proved on that first run. Romanovski, though, in the lead position. We've seen him leave a lot of guys for dead.
Yeah.
These two guys are coming in especially probably faster than anybody else out there, and it's one run and they're done for these guys. Or it could be a one more time. Could happen. Could happen. It's an outside chance. But at the same time, the pride of Poland on track right now is showing that Poland, you know what? We used to have the mantle there in Ireland a little bit, but now the Polish drivers, for me, especially when you see 3 in the top 4, and from my perspective, looking stronger than ever as the season goes on. The pride of Poland, the championship, really showcasing the talent pouring out of the red and white flag right now.
Yeah, exactly. So, just checking in with our start line marshal with with Adam Zaleski to make sure that car is 100%.
He's just so calm, Adam Zaleski.
So
he just looks
calm.
like he's chilled.
But I'm not confident, Dave. He's not looking too good. He's shaking his head.
Has he got an issue?
Has he got an issue still? We are waiting to find out.
Oh, so he's saying the car is overheating. That's the issue. The car is overheating. Adam Zaleski saying the engine in the car is overheating badly, and of course he's got a certain amount of time before he has to get back onto the competitive run, and he's not going to have a lot of time, Ian. But then, you know, he's trying to cool it down best he can. It's on its last legs. That's what we're hearing from the start line. The car is on its last legs. It couldn't give up at this stage, could it?
Oh my God! Can you imagine if he left the line and the engine died?
He's saying now he's just going to come off the line and maybe try and get some air through that car and make sure it cools down.
Can you imagine if Adam Zalewski lost his engine right now in the place for the final step on the podium?
The word we're getting is concerned. They're concerned about the safety of running that car at that temperature. That's what they're saying right now. That's the concern they have. Oh, that kid has been through it all today.
He has had the toughest season. The toughest
He really has.
season.
And every time the car works, he's fine.
Yeah.
But he's had mechanical issues. He's had just luck not go his way, not get the rub of the green for at least 3 rounds in a row now. And he's still fighting here for a trophy. Romanovski, no such issues. He looks like he's ready to rock and roll. But after a great lead run, Zalewski probably holding a little bit of an advantage here.
He just put his thumbs up, Dave. He slams the door shut.
He's going to go for it.
He's going for it.
He said, I don't care. We're going for it. He's going for it. He said the engine's not 100%, but he's going to make the run anyway. He said he couldn't take a cool down lap. He has to go as it is. Well, will it hold together?
Well, we're about to find out.
Will it hold together? Will he get that trophy, or will Romanovski prove too strong? Zalewski's going to have to hope that car holds together, and he's going to try and throw it on the door of Romanovski. He said it's down on power a little bit. He's got to pedal it. Into the first corner they go.
Yeah, Romanovski stands on it and starts to pull away. Zalewski doesn't look like he has an answer, but can he claw it back as he dives through the smoke and gets on the door?
At
wow! Zalewski gets on the door as they transition
Whoa!
back. Oh, wow! Adam Zalewski absolutely putting caution to the wind.
Oh, and he hops over his car.
Wow.
Contact. Big contact between both drivers. He went about 4 foot in the air, Ian.
Wow.
Wheel on wheel. Zalewski gets out of the car and he is punching the sky. Over aggression, maybe, Ian.
Wow, yeah, tried to make the dive. You know, like you say, that car not 100%, pushing it as far as he could to try and force the win. but put himself in a dangerous
He
position.
has it all
Look
here.
at this. Look.
All the advantage right here, but it's this dive at massive speed. Look, check it out here. Watch Zaleski's car. Boom, up in the air, wheel to wheel. He drops down, and that might be all she wrote. He gave it one hell of a go, Ian, though.
Wow, he put everything.
Look, watch the
he
reaction.
had.
Watch, look at the reaction. Look at the anger. He cannot believe it when he gets out of the car. Whew. There it is. Look at that. Big contact between both drivers. And Zaleski pulls up, and you know what? It might be all she wrote.
Yeah.
For the Zestino tire E30, and the crowd appreciated the effort. We appreciate the effort. And Romanovski heads back to receive his result and see exactly which way it's going to go. He comes back in front of the screen as Zaleski rolls back, and the crowd give him one hell of an ovation. That's what it's all about here in Riga, Ian. The crowd on their feet for Adam Zalewski. What a go he gave it.
Well, listen, he threw everything that he had at it. You know, he put his engine on the line, his car on the line, and he ended up jumping. Romanovski.
Oh, and look at the front of his car, the wheels, everything. The crowd give him a round of applause. It looks like the result is in. Both drivers are out of the cars. So here we go. It's for officially the third spot on the podium. Will it be Romanovski? Will it be Zalewski? It might be the obvious call, and it looks like it may very well be. Krzysztof Romanovski takes third position on the podium here in Riga. We will have two of the Drift Warriors on the podium. What a day for that team. And for Adam Zalewski, fourth place, valuable championship points earned in, but not the trophy he so wanted and maybe, arguably, so deserved.
Yeah, I mean, listen, very, very hard. No need to go to our judges, Dave. An incomplete second run.
Yeah, ramping over another car.
Yeah, you can't be doing it.
You can't be doing it. They didn't like it. They said, keep all the four wheels on the ground. But you know what? He went for the win.
He went for it.
Sometimes you go for the win, you go home, you feel a little dejected, but if you've given it everything, the worst thing he could possibly have done was to back away and sort of give it a half run, not go close on the door, and then lose it that way. So he's going home knowing he tried his very, very, very best. At this moment in time, the media are starting to collect at the bottom of our tower. That means that all the media are heading down on the track for one thing, and that is the podium. But who will take first position on that podium? Will it be James Dean? Will it be Grzegorz Hippie? This is the battle we've all wanted, Ian. This is heavyweight versus heavyweight. The man who won round two, the last round. The man who's beaten James Dean this year goes up against the man coming off a win streak in Formula Drift in the USA. It's Poland versus Ireland. It's two very different machines, two very different mentalities, two very different styles, but they're going door to door for the last time today. This is what it all comes down to. 72 drivers, 2 remain, 1 trophy, and it's the important one, that first place trophy. Who will be crowned King of Riga 2018? For the last time, James Dean will lead in Grzegorz Hippie, and look at Hippie, he's going for an earring.
Yeah, Hippie starts to overtake Dean as Dean fires it in now. Hippie stands on the accelerator, but pace of James Dean starts to pull away. Can Hippie get himself in the fight? He doesn't seem to have the pace for James Dean.
Look at Hippie!
Wow.
Out of nowhere!
He just comes out of nowhere.
Oh! Hippie out of nowhere onto the door of James Dean. What a run! Did you see that?
It just looked like he had no pace, and then bam, out of nowhere, he's on the door. Unbelievable stuff. Look at this.
He just appeared.
He just appeared. Look at this. James Dean starts to drive away from him, and you're kind of lost thinking, Hippie's out of the battle. Doesn't make a dive here.
And it's like, oh.
Doesn't make the dive again.
And then watch. Whoa.
Whoa, there I am.
What a moment. That is the moment that drifting gives you that no other motorsport does. He just disappears and then reappears inches. Has 70 plus miles an hour on the rear. I think even James Dean's splitter exploded with the speed he came into that first corner.
Unbelievable stuff.
Just immense driving from both these guys. These two warriors. They've gone to war with everybody on the grid. And Hippie, he's laid a claim there. I think he's going to carry a small advantage there. That's my opinion.
Yeah, listen, you can't put down a chase lead like that, a chase run like that, and not take an advantage.
No.
It was unbelievable
He's
stuff.
put it all on James Dean now. He said, that's what I've got.
You need to match it.
You've got to go closer.
Can you match it?
And that puts him in an uncomfortable position because he has to be aggressive here.
Yeah, James Dean can't leave anything out then right now. He has to be as aggressive if not more aggressive than Grzegorz Hippie, and he has to push 100%. James Dean now just getting the signal to go down and warm his tyres up, turn around and get ready to go head-to-head against Grzegorz Hippie.
It's Hippie's pace. That's the key
That's
here.
the key, yeah.
Because Hippie, it's that initiation. Nobody's been able to stay with him all day.
No, and through this centre section, from 2 to 3, it's been unbelievably fast. Can James Dean keep him? This is what we said earlier. Can he match the pace?
It's the unknown now.
Yeah.
Because Hippie's fast.
Very.
But he's got to be faster. James has been close all day, but he's got to be closer.
Yep.
They've got to go to a place that they're not comfortable with. They've got to go to a place that they're probably not sure how it's going to work out. They're going to have to do something. Oh,
wow.
We've just heard in my headset that James Dean's car is now overheating as well. I can't take much more of this, Ian. It's been ridiculous today. We've had torrential showers. We've had everything thrown at these guys. I feel exhausted. I can only imagine what they feel like in the car. This is what drifting's all about. This is what the Drift Masters European Championship is all about. It's about those moments. It's about those moments you look back in years and say, remember that run. Well, I think we're about to see one. I think we're about to see a moment that makes your jaw drop, because James Dean has said, forget the overheat and we're running it. And he goes back up onto the start line with Grzegorz Hippie. It is the last run of the competition here in Riga. It's been an incredible weekend. We started in practice, we ran these cars through the streets of the city, and now we finish here in front of the grandstand with the last run of the day. James Dean, he is the winner of Formula Drift. At the moment, he's the champion at Formula Drift. He goes up against the winner of last round of the Drift Masters European Championship. They're off the line. It's the last run of the day. Hippie, look at the speed. Dean's trying to stay with him.
James Dean trying to keep up with the pace of Grzegorz Hippie, and he is all over the side of him as he squeezes the throttle. James Dean pushes Grzegorz Hippie into clipping point 3.
Transitions on the back bumper, and Hippie's fast though, and Dean is still with him.
James Dean is with him, almost contact as he pushes on the door again. One more transition, and James Dean.
It was everything
Pushes
we wanted it
him.
to be. Dean raises the grandstand up, and our head judge just went, WTF was that? Because James Dean has just put everyone on their feet here in Riga. What a run, what a way to finish it. Oh,
I've got goosebumps.
that was
right now.
ridiculous.
Unbelievable stuff.
I mean, that is one of the greatest chase runs that I have ever seen at these speeds. On over 100 miles an hour. Check this replay out.
Watch this. Look at this. Hippie's pace.
Look at the line of Hippie. He's half a tyre off the track.
Off the edge of the track. Hippie, phenomenal pace. Look at Dean. There. Bam. On the door. No shifting. Through the transition. Perfect. Again. Squeezes. Locks the front wheel up to balance the car. A masterclass in lead and chase
they
driving.
argue, is he the best in the world? They say he's not up against everybody. I'm saying nobody can come here anywhere in Europe and dominate this man. No one in the US can seem to handle this man. There's something special about him. He's come along at a time where he's worked it. Remember, this guy left school at 16 years of age from a small farmhouse in Ireland and said, I'm going to become a professional drifter. He was laughed at. His school said, what a waste of your time. You should stay and study. He said, no, I'm going to go be the best in the world. And right now, in front of a sold-out Riga audience, he comes here as the current leader of the championship. He's definitely leading the championship now. And right now, that man has shown everybody around the world what he's capable of. Incredible. He makes it look so easy that you forget how difficult it is.
Well, we need to know, Dave, do we have a decision? Or are we going to go for a one more time?
Do we have a decision from our judges?
Kevin O'Connell, do we have a decision?
We have a decision, Ian.
Yes, Ian, we have a decision.
So I got to go down and
Dave Egan.
Yeah, it's going to be up to me.
This
to
is
go
going to be
there
down
and
to
announce
you.
it. Ian, what an incredible day. I'm high-fiving. We
what
got through
a
it.
phenomenal event.
Amazing. I'm going down there to talk to these guys, to hand out these trophies, and from everybody in Drift Masters, we'll see you at the podium.
So as Dave makes his way down to the podium, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who tuned in on the live stream and give us your viewership numbers. It's been phenomenal. What an event. And if you want to know when we'll be back, well, it's 2 weeks' time. We will be live from the Moto Arena in Turyn in Poland for round 4 of the Drift Masters European Championship 2018. Dave Egan's heading down to the podium, and I'm going to go join him, and we're going to see who is going to take the top step on the podium.
So after an incredible event here in Riga, guys, did you have a good time? We have our 4 finalists here at round 3 of the Drift Masters European Championship, and they are making their way down to the podium. Make sure you guys give them a big cheer and a big round of applause as they come around the corner. What an incredible set of battles to finish the action here today. We didn't know which way it was going to go, but in the end, it was pretty obvious in the 3rd and 4th place battle, but the final decision has been made. We will make that decision at the podium. But an incredible display, an incredible audience, an incredible venue, and an incredible city for Drift Masters, the European Championship round 3. Remember, in 2 weeks, we are back in action on a Formula 1 circuit in Hockenheim in Germany. And then we finish things off at the end of the September sorry, my mistake, we were in Turun, the Moto Arena in 2 weeks' time. Then we go to Germany for Hockenheim, and then we go to Ireland. It's 3 rounds left in this championship, if my heart can take any more. And as they roll down, will you please give a huge round of applause in Riga for James Dean, for Gregor Hippie, for Krzysztof Romanovski, and Adam Zaleski. As they get rid of the last of their tires, you can see just how battered and bruised these cars are. This was an all-out war on this circuit. Guys, once again, give it up for your top 4! So before we announce our top 3, we'd like to present a trophy for the winner of qualifying here at the King of Riga. We present to Mr. James Dean for qualifying. Our highest qualifier today with a score of 95.7 is James Dean, but that is only half of the story. We can announce that finishing in 4th position, will you please make some noise for Adam Zaleski?
4th position on the podium. An unfortunate mechanical failure, but smiles all around. Please make some noise for a 3rd position, Krzysztof Romanovski! And then it was the final, and what an incredible final it was. Make some noise for Gregor Hippie and James Dean. What an incredible final. And I can announce that taking 2nd position, position number 2 on the podium, is Gregor Hippie! And that means that you're a winner of round 3 of the Drift Masters European Championship and the 2018 King of Riga, James Dean! We will let the champagne pop and the confetti fly here in Riga. Guys, you've been an amazing audience. Give it up for your top 4. Adam Zaleski, Krzysztof Romanovski, Gregor Hippie, and your winner and King of Riga 2018, James Dean! We will see you guys in 2 weeks in the Amoto Arena in Poland for round 4 of the championship. From then, from all of us at Drift Masters, congratulate your victors. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Riga, make some noise!